I was playing all the Metro Primes right now. Through I guess enhanced methods. Let's say.
It's called emulation.
Let me cut you off.
Is that a filthy where we own these games?
I love the enhanced methods. Like it's like paraphernalia. Like,
Nintendo, Miyamoto, I'm sorry. He's gone rogue. He's gone rogue.
Because technically I'm playing.
I don't know this man.
You're pounding on the door.
He's here.
Well, hello. This is a chilly night, and this is Taco Otaku. I'm the designated driver today.
Someone has to be.
4 people today: Ray, Miles, and Andy.
Hello.
And
hi.
I guess I'm Frank.
That's you, Frank. I believe so. Yes.
Try not to hate me first time. I don't have a license yet.
Working on
we put him in the driver's seat. He'll be fine. Don't worry. Gotta learn.
Don't worry. Ray's in the back, really driving the rest of us. But
It's a fake steering wheel. I'm really controlling it.
He's one of those backseat drivers.
Someone has to be.
All right. So today we have a little March Madness theme. We're gonna do some video game brackets, and we're gonna just go over what kind of been doing and watching over the past few weeks. So we'll start with Ray.
Oh, so I'm the lucky chosen one.
Well, you are driving.
I don't want you to complain later. So
That's true. In all fairness, I would just edit and put myself first anyway, so it's all good. Might as well just get it over with. So I guess we'll do the news first. Not too much news. So the one thing I really want to talk about this news and bring it to all you gentlemen out there is the Nintendo Direct we had a few weeks ago now, since this podcast and the launch, and this is like kind of episode 1 for us. Was the Nintendo Direct, and just wanted to say thanks to us, Otaku, we made the Nintendo Direct happen.
It was,
We brought Advance Wars, we brought the people Metroid, we brought them the Game Boy Advance player. We did it all. Otaku, we get it done.
Yeah.
Episode 1, Nintendo heard us. Miyamoto said, "All right, if the Otaku guys on it, we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So we made all that happen.
we did. I don't remember this.
You weren't there you went to the bathroom, and then Miyamoto showed up, and I shook his hand. It's fine.
Yeah. No, it was just we literally in some form or the other touched on each of those things in some maybe shorter way than others. Well, you talked about the Advance Wars things quite a bit. So I was like, oh, they're never gonna they're gonna now put that out for another year. And then lo and behold, Nintendo Direct. Was that what you were talking about? The 1 and 2?
Mm-hmm, the reboot.
Okay.
Yeah, the one they show no gameplay still for that.
They
show a lot still. There's a lot of things in that, but that's like, we'll see you in April. That's it. We left.
I'll buy it again. That's all I know. I'm a sucker for it. So I think I was happy with the Advance Wars. The Game Boy stuff is pretty interesting. I'm curious to see whatever. And let me ask this question: Pokemon, yes or no?
No.
Oh.
Don't know what, but no.
I think no, and and it's funny. I mean, I would almost agree with Frank, no, because even though you don't know what we're talking about, and what you're saying is, do you think they'll put Pokemon games on the Game Boy Advance or the the Virtual Game Boy?
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe some, they'll probably do I imagine they won't do the originals. Maybe this is just off my head. They're just gonna do Crystal, or they're gonna have Yellow or something that's really kind of niche. That's really only of that time. They're not gonna do Yellow the same way they did before. And I feel like I could see them bringing that back because I feel like that's its own thing, and then they have a reason to put it there for that purpose. But I don't know if you'll see Red or Blue. I don't know. Do you agree with that? What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like that. To me, I'm not even that optimistic. I'm thinking if they're going to, it's come get the Pokemon expansion pass extra.
Oh my god.
Or some other, because it's Pokemans and we love our Pokemans.
Well, to me, I feel like if we're going to do that, we're going to do hey, you want to buy this collection, right, of this HD remaster of those games?
Oh, I don't even think they'll do that.
And then if you have expansion pass, then you can get the Pokemon box or Link or whatever they call it.
Yeah, there'll be some other subscription service to trade all of them between all the games.
Yeah, and it works with all the recent games that just came out, right? Or whatever new Pokemon.
Yeah, and then whatever.
Red, Scarlet, something, whatever it comes out. those find another way to get more money or put it inside the expansion pass.
Yeah, I don't see it. I think someone brought it up, and I was just talking about like, yeah, I don't see it. Just too much money to happen there.
But I feel like I would think they would do that because it would match something like what they did with the 3D All Stars, where they put out 3D All Stars and then they did the N64 expansion, because then it's like, haha, you already bought Mario 64. Now you have it on the virtual store. Good luck. Because that's how I felt. That's literally,
That's
I was
a
like,
good point.
because I bought 3D All Stars because I was like, oh crap, cool. I get to play Mario 64 and Sunshine and Galaxy and all that. Not thinking they're going to do a fucking virtual console. I mean, obviously I like Sunshine and Galaxy anyway, but, it would give people less incentive, because I feel like 3D's All-Stars biggest draw, no matter how you feel, really is 64, I think. I mean, I don't know. Well, I guess it depends on how old you are, but...
That's all true, yeah.
Yeah.
Just one of those things I wonder future
it
thinking.
depends also if you're going that route, right? Because I feel like, say, like the Metroid, right? The Metroid Prime, whenever it came out, they might do, like, say, for Sunshine, something that, maybe like a remaster, reimagine, whatever.
You think so?
Well,
That's
I'm
what I was
just
gonna
saying,
say.
For Sunshine.
For Sunshine,
no, I thought we were
for
talking about
GameCube
Pokemon.
games.
that would argue that makes more sense than Sunshine. Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying GameCube games and up, I think it would be more remasters on the Switch than be on the virtual console. Well, things are older and things like
I feel like they wouldn't touch Sunshine anymore. I feel like they're like, we put it out again and we're good.
Yeah,
I don't know. Well, I mean, you never
like
know.
As a
You
digital
never know,
catalog
like-
of GameCube games? Or do you mean like a physical, here's a GameCube collection cartridge?
It's like a reimagine, like not reimagine, but like
Like Resident Evil 4 remake level?
Yeah, something like that.
No,
You
not
know,
VR
Miles, you're crazy.
VR Sunshine.
I know, because I
These shines never look so real.
But I think because how colorful the game was at the time. I feel like if you told me like tomorrow, hey, we're making it like a remastered Sunshine, right? Or like Sunshine.
And then I have to wake you up, Miles. Miles, you're sleeping again. Miles, wake up.
I think you'll be okay. But
True believer out here.
But I think like say the Pokemon as we mentioned earlier, are like certain games that are very popular in Game Boy is that I don't know if we're gonna get those exactly right away, or is that be locked in the expansion packs, because we still know exactly, other than like the Game Boy Advance games being like what else is in that thing, because I feel like every year expansion packs changes to something else.
I don't know if they keep adding more, but we'll see.
Because they just show like at the end they show like, and these games are coming soon.
Wait, I have a question about the expansion pass, because I don't get it, so I don't go too much into it.
Mm-hmm.
Are they expanding it and not charging you more, or it's like, okay, get this one and now you can play these?
Well, it's the Game Boy game. I think the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color games are free if you have the plain Nintendo Online subscription. If you have the one with the expansion pack it comes with the Genesis and 64 games. That one comes now with the GBA games too.
That's right.
So they added it.
I guess they added
it to something that was.
They added to both services. So you have one tier or the super tier.
There's
something
a better
new.
tier.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so you have super tier, then you're covered basically.
Yeah.
Because I was worried that. Sorry, Andy.
No.
I
Go
was
ahead.
worried that they're like, oh, now I have to get a GBA one.
Oh
No.
Now what
It
you're
was
saying makes more sense.
Already there.
Yeah, it's part of
technically.
the super tier. I guess.
What you were gonna say, Andy?
No, I was gonna say, with the Game Boy, I kind of, I guess I'm rewinding a bit, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. What you were saying made me think of it. In the Game Boy Color games, it's like, and these games are to come, and they show you.
Yes.
Wasn't one of them a Pokemon game, or am I tripping? Was one of them Crystal?
I don't remember.
No,
a
not
Pokemon.
Pokemon game. No, they were showing like
Yeah, what were they showing?
F-Zero and like a lot of games like that were on the Game Boy, like beginning Game Boy
It
Advance.
was like Metroid Fusion.
Yeah, which is-
First Fire Emblem, which I think is Fire Emblem 6
and Golden
6
Sun.
from Japan. Oh, Golden Sun.
Golden
Was
Sun.
it 1 and 2 or just
that,
1?
I think it's just 1 for now, but
And then
I think it's a lot of like original, like when Game Boys as they first came out, kind of like released first.
Yeah, they
They put it on there.
teased. Yeah, real quick. I forget what the teases were, but I remember thinking it's like, I don't know. It was like fine overall. Like it's good. I'm happy it exists.
Yeah.
They need to do something to get people,
Right.
especially if they want people to buy the expensive
No Super
tier.
Mario Land though, right?
Exactly.
Guys?
Yeah, Super Mario Land 2, which technically is the probably better game that looks more like Mario, but
Yeah.
like Super Mario Land was so crazy at the time, like, oh, Mario on the go.
Yeah.
So I feel like, trying, we don't look at that ugly piece of Mario trash
Yeah,
anymore.
I
It's
mean,
not real Mario.
It does look. I mean, it's aged not the greatest, but I mean,
True.
it's still it's a Mario game.
Technically wise, it is a good game.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still.
It's part of history.
It's a Mario game.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong, really.
Yeah. And I guess my final question, talking about Nintendo Direct, and I'll pass it to anyone else. What do you guys want to talk? Is what's a game that you didn't see on there that you would like to be on either the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, or Advance?
You mean on the virtual store?
Yeah, to come. What do you want?
We're not virtual store.
Yeah, right. Oh, Andy, dating ourselves. Oh, Andy, already dating ourselves.
Cool spot. No,
Wait, I totally forgot what it's called.
The expansion pass, whatever, on Nintendo Online service. What's a game that you saw on there or didn't see that you would want to see in the future? Make sure they get added on. Because for me, it's like, well, duh, the other Fire Emblem game. Shocker. Give me Advance Wars
I
2.
will say I was actually very pleased because I know we talked about this last time where we were talking about Mario and Luigi All Stars on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, that's true.
And I was like, I wanted to play.
good one.
And I remember you were talking about how like, it's kind of an easy game if you like kind of find the right functions. Isn't that what you said last time? Mario Luigi All Stars.
I did.
I thought you did. I thought somebody said that you could kind of like play it in a way that it's kind of easy to beat. The one on Game Boy Advance. Am I crazy?
I don't recall this conversation.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember talking about it, but I don't remember saying that it was
Oh,
easy.
well, I mean, I guess that aside, I was really excited that they added that. Like, there's a lot of I'm really excited to play that, and I kind of like always wanted to play the Moon and Sun games.
Pokemon? Moon and Sun. Seasons and Ages.
Yeah.
Zelda.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Those are good games, and they said they officially coming out.
those are coming eventually on
Okay,
there.
well, that's good.
So weird that it was the DX version of Link's Awakening than the original one.
Well, it's the same game and more.
But it's the better version. So
and it's got color. Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's see. In my head, I guess a Game Boy game, I guess, would be for me, Snoopy Tennis. That was
Oh wow! All right, deep cut.
Deep cut. But I see. I don't know if that was a color one or was that.
I think that was a color.
Because it was a clear color cartridge.
Yeah, it was
so I think-
see-through.
Yeah, because it was one of the few ones that did that. That and for the Game Boy Advance, I want to say, put in the Astro Boy game.
Oh, that is a good game. Also, would be a licensed nightmare, but that's a super good game.
Yeah, because I know that we had to find that for a while because it took us a hard time to find a good copy of it.
The Omega Factory,
Yeah.
by Treasure.
And also made a Dragon Ball game. That was also pretty good. Legend Goku.
Oh, the second one?
The RPG one.
Yeah.
The second one was the better one.
Yeah,
right?
that one was so good.
Yeah, that actually is a good one.
Also League of Nightmare.
All right.
Well, it's who owns Atari now anymore?
Imagine a Dragon Ball game on those online things. That would be crazy.
That would be funny. It's Dragon Ball.
Well, is this only speaking about Game Boy games or any game that we would like?
Well, I guess ideally the Game Boy games.
For me, Super Robot Wars. I was just talking
That'd be
about this with
interesting.
Ivan, and I told him you should get it, but that one's super expensive. If you
Oh, yeah?
go look for it's like $200.
Wow.
So unless you get like some sort of digital copy or
Right.
emulator.
Somewhere on the internet, perhaps.
But other than that, no, I pretty much don't really, because the ones I would want, they're already there.
Oh, well, they're doing a good job.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too.
Fair enough.
but
Just
other
thought
than that, what else stood out to you from the Nintendo Direct? Andy, any highlights for you?
That influencer game.
Woo!
Which
Did you
one's
see
that?
that?
What?
Do you guys? Oh, you guys didn't watch it live, or
What's?
it's like no, it's so stupid. It's like be the cutest girl in school and find an influencer and make her go on the internet and use her phone and be hip and cool.
I think I deleted this. Was this on there?
I was just making a joke. Yeah, it was very forgettable. Like,
Oh, okay.
it was like a blink if you miss it thing. It was. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, no. That makes sense. Okay, gotcha. You're very excited. I know you are. Don't hide it, Andy. It's a joke, guys. It's totally backfired on me.
Wow.
Oh, there's that Style Savvy game that was not Style Savvy, but is.
I'm assuming that's what Andy was talking about.
I don't know.
Yeah, because there's that game, the Fashion Connect, I think, something like that. Fashion. It showed like it was fine, but I guess it's not a Nintendo game, so I don't know what it's like a third party. The bargain I think I was talking about, maybe.
I don't. Maybe.
I love how this joke is stretching out for 5 minutes.
I skipped it. Well, I'll go with mine. From what I remember, because it's been a while now, it seems. the
Yes,
new
it was.
I remember I was interested in the Sea of Stars. I downloaded that demo. I played it a bit, but then I'm like, no, I just want to play the real version, and I'll wait. But I think the music pretty good, and it was fun. I gonna be. It reminds me of Mario and Luigi that you were talking about.
Mm.
Oh.
How the moves are based on timing.
Mm.
And I mean, you could still do them, but it'll hit more if you time it right. It looks beautiful and the music's nice. The other one I
good.
got was Octopath Traveler 2.
All right, right.
That one I had the same issue. I was like enjoying it, but then I'm like, I'll just wait for the real version to start because I know I'll like it and play it. And I have so many games that I need to catch up on.
Yeah.
Know that feeling.
The other one I want to get, but I was waiting for the physical copy was Metroid.
Oh yeah.
I think it comes out today. I think.
There you go.
Now you know that we're on
What are you
Wednesday.
doing here, Frank? Go get it.
I read a thing that Prime like delayed their pre-orders today or something. I don't
Oh.
know. Yeah. And then like
Wow.
people were getting annoyed by that.
Well, I probably won't get it until at least it's $200. Because that's a low lot for. Well, I like the game, but I don't know. It's $40 worth. But I'm looking forward to playing it eventually because I know the other ones probably come out later on this year. Probably. I'm assuming they're going to do all of them until Prime 4. Probably.
Yeah,
Makes
I don't
sense.
know. I feel like they won't just because that's something Nintendo would do. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like they would just put out Prime and be like when they put out Galaxy on the thing and they're like Galaxy 2, what the hell are you talking
yeah,
about?
what's
guys?
that? I don't remember that.
It's like, okay,
I think they're just taking their time and they're
I
gonna
hope so.
they're gonna go with Echoes and then Corruption. I think is what it's called.
well, that would be
That sounds right.
ideal.
That would make sense. And Nintendo does so many things that make absolutely
corruption.
no sense.
We could leave that to the side. That one we could forget into the aisles of time.
I think
Wait.
they're done with the Echoes and Corruption, and they're like, give us more time, release them one at a time.
Yeah, I feel like if 4 is still in the development hell it's been in, then yeah, I think you're right, Frank.
And to finish it off, I didn't get surprised by much. I enjoyed the Xenoblade 3 DLC
Oh, right,
reveal.
right.
That was
Oh,
it
yeah.
was like cool, an extra story. And then I went back and looked at it. I'm like, wait, that's Shulk?
Oh,
Rex?
yeah, I did see that. I'm like, oh, that's Shulk, right?
Is that Noah old? It was like, oh, they're all gonna be together. So this is interesting. I
Oh,
wanna
Oh, they're
go.
like older characters of themselves?
They're characters from the 1 and 2,
Uh-huh.
but they're kind of like they're not supposed to be together because they're from different worlds and stuff like that.
Oh, interesting.
Worlds collide.
Oh, that's cool.
And then they look older, so I'm guessing it's like after the original games.
Multiverse theory again.
Gotta love it.
Oh, yeah, right.
and Zelda, of course, but I'm guessing everybody.
I don't know.
It's-
It's Zelda game. It's like I'll see you when it comes out. I
Right.
guess.
I'm
Yeah.
interested, but yeah, basically I'm kind of like, but then I'm like the least Zelda
'Cause
fan I
that-
think on the
'cause that-
podcast.
Because that trailer was a lot of like, cool. I'll see you when it comes out. Because it had nothing. It had nothing in there other than like, there's more flashes or things.
He was riding a car or something.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
I
no,
guess
no,
that's
no,
question
see-
mark.
But see,
that's cool.
when I
I
saw
guess.
that, I had some Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts like
Nuts and
Oh,
bolts.
God.
PDSD. I was like, no, not again. Not again.
Wait, nothing? You guys are crazy. It was
Yeah, that-
interesting.
I mean, I didn't.
But I'm the least so like,
No, I just felt like it was just like they didn't. I guess I guess I wanted to see more like gameplay. They had a lot of gameplay.
I guess I want
don't
a little
know.
bit more story because at this
a better
point,
story perhaps. At least that's I guess what
at least
I'm
the
looking
start
for.
story because I feel like we get Ganondorf talking and then that's pretty much
It's the
it
highlight.
says rise millions rise.
Right?
Well,
Yeah.
but it's
And then
like,
it's
well,
like,
yeah,
oh
of
no,
course,
the
and-
crappy Zelda voice still. Shit, forgot about that.
Don't worry, you'll find a way with the Japanese.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I could play the Japanese audio, I feel better.
Yeah.
I think you can.
Yeah, you can
I
if
hope
you.
so.
I think you have to trick your Switch to.
Oh, you have to switch it
Region-
in the
regions.
region.
You have to trick it like you trick your dog. Come here, boy. Come here, boy.
Oh, silly Switch, I love you.
Trick your
Well, I guess you guys don't like Zelda, but for me,
It's true.
Yeah.
It didn't make my list on the first episode, so why would it change now?
I'm curious about what's up with his hand. Does Does he have some sort of disease going on there?
It's like
a-
Princess Mononoke or something.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit.
The pandemic Zelda going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
Well,
it
I think it's
happens.
like probably some sort of seal, and it, they're using his arms pretty much like the seal now. So now to lock Ganondorf back, you have to use your arm. It's pretty like the Sheikah Slate anyway at this point.
I think the Sheikah Slate's gonna be gone, and it's gonna be
Mm.
replaced by those green capsules he has on his pocket.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
And pretty much it's gonna be that with his arm. That's what I think. I don't think it'll happen, but they kind of tease it. There's a part where somebody's riding a horse and it looks like it's Zelda, and I'm like, is it gonna be co-op or is it gonna be optional to play Zelda? Because other than that, why would they show that? And maybe it's just a tease, or maybe I'm looking too much into it. But that would be interesting for me if they do that. That would be like a big change that they have, because
But yeah, the last time they did that was with Spirit Tracks. The last time they had Zelda as a playable character. Granted, no, she kind of left her body and spirit. But I know that for a long time they've been trying to. There are a lot of rumors, things like that. I think there has to be a playable Zelda in the next one. No, that's what people want. What people are asked for. Who knows? I'm leaning towards it because especially at the end bit, when she's like limiting your power right at the end, like they're gonna separate and then she's gonna do her thing and Link's gonna do his thing. I guess, and that's where the game is.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that can happen. It should be interesting. I think Breath of the Wild was very kind of like the Fire Emblem that's going on right now, Engage, where it's kind of Ivan put it well. He said a love song to the series, where it has a little bit of everything.
Oh, I see.
And that's why it doesn't really match on the timeline, because it's like, how could this be here if it's on the other timeline and stuff like that?
Oh god, the time.
No, when the Zelda timelines we don't have time to go through that.
We're not going through it, but it's just, I think with this game, it kind of just like solidifies where it is on the storyline, because I mean, unless I'm wrong, that's the Ganon from Twilight Princess, and that to me it's interesting because it's kind of like, okay, now we're continuing the story from where we left off.
That would make the most
let me
sense.
think.
Question mark, but I don't remember the
You mean
timeline.
Ganondorf, like from Twilight Prince. I think how that ended.
Because that's the last time Ganondorf showed off was in Twilight Princess, I think.
Because if I remember correctly, because in let's see, in Wind Waker he was clay.
Oh god, we're gonna do every single Zelda game.
No.
Let's not go over it. It's just saying that I think it's that one, and we can look it up later if
Yeah,
if
pretty
need be.
much.
Yeah, because that's why I really play that the Hyrule Warriors, the Age of Calamity game, because I think that's supposed to explain a lot more to lore than the Breath of the Wild never bothered to explain to you.
Oh, the prequel.
yeah,
Forgot about that.
yeah.
That game is so good. I would say that game, especially story wise, is way better than Breath of the Wild.
Well, Breath of the Wild has
There is no
real
story.
There is no story.
It's
Link saved the world. Oh, all right.
Get all these
I
guys
think it's so
together.
good.
It's like Metal Gear Solid 5 over again. It's like there's gameplay here, but the story, not so much.
Playing Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, makes me gives me hope that you're gonna be able to use different characters other than Link.
If they could be used, if Zelda's playable, that'd be cool because it's funny. It's like this series is called The Legend of Zelda, and she's never playable. Princess needs to be rescued. So it'd be nice, but I think Japan is stuck in their ways of like, oh, but it's got to be like this because it's always been like this, so we got to be like that. But we'll see.
But
I wish they would change. I want them to change, but
Yeah.
I just don't see it personally.
Well, it's unfortunately it's very ingrained in that culture, so I don't know if they're going to like push break out of that box, or they're going to just like, nope, this is what it is.
well,
And
what I'll
okay.
say is that traditionally Zelda, as it goes along, they try to do something that kind of like changes the game for them.
Yeah.
And with Breath of the Wild, it was, if you can see it, you can go there. Now, what would be different for this game? Like, 'cause I don't think it's gonna be like just a different gimmick of instead of Sheikah Slate, it's the arm. I don't think it'll be that, because that's just the same thing with a different tool. So the only thing I can think of, based on the hints that trailer gave us, is that you can use more than Link. I know you could say, okay, it's the sky, but it's different, but it's not revolutionary.
True.
So I think the Zelda developers always try to do something that's like, okay, let's, do the cutting edge.
Yeah, and especially the last couple of games, especially like with Link Between Worlds and that, they try to break out the traditional Zelda formula and try to do more
Yeah.
creative things and they're not afraid to go there because that's Zelda's been a certain thing and they allow them to like no, we're going to try to change it up. We're going to do this another way, So I won't be surprised, but it's just like if whatever happens is what I expect is probably gonna happen. I'll be okay because that's what I expect to ever happen.
And
the list.
to end, unless you have something to say about it, Andy.
No, I was just saying. I was just thinking. Like, I feel like I didn't really pay attention to the ad for it because I was like, oh yeah, I forgot all these things you were talking about. Like, now it sounds much more. You basically have persuaded me to be like, I'm excited for this game. So,
I'm
'cause
sold.
I totally was just like, yeah, whatever, it'll come out.
I was in
don't care.
before even the podcast started, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, now I really.
Here's my $70, Frank.
Watch it and then look at that girl or that person with long hair riding the horse, and
Uh-huh.
I'm like, is it a cutscene or are they showing us that you can ride the horse with Zelda?
Oh, okay.
Other than that, the title Tears of the Kingdom, makes me think that it's gonna be about the Sheikah,
Right.
because their symbol is an eye with a tear.
Right.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of curious to see because we don't really know much about him. It's just like
It's so funny because like he's almost like Andy. I was like the way you talk about it, it's like I want to be interested, but I try to be that interested in the world, and I was so not interested in the Breath of the Wild world. So it's like you're
Right.
slowly selling to me, but I'm going nah though. It's not going to be that
Well,
good.
the problem is that the gameplay. There's so much. You're focused on the gameplay format, and the story was kind of like it's there, but you kind of put things together, and then at the end of the day, you want to like I want to grab this and go over there. You're more to try and do stuff in the world than actually play the story, right? Kind of like
Right.
Death Stranding, right? The story's
Oh.
kind of like
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of like but the gameplay though is cool.
That highway,
Yeah.
that's a nice highway we got here.
I think they'll go back to dungeons.
I hope so.
I hope-
That's yes. If I have one request or thing I wish to
If
improve
there's
on,
one more trial, I'm gonna leave. I'm
proper
gonna leave the game.
temples, because the temples in Breath of the Wild were
They're
just,
just
terrible.
inside of animals.
Yeah, they were just so bad. They were so like
It's like
forgettable.
I did a bird, and
Yeah.
now I'm in
But-
it.
but it
My
was
one
fish.
big that and the story are my two
There were
complaints
no
of
puzzles,
Breath of the
the
Wild.
trials, and all the things, and then like you do all the like 100 shrines in there, and you get this cola cookie. It's like, what am I doing?
It's fun, but it's like it's neat because I see all the people like on YouTube and everywhere else on the internet where they post like, oh, crazy things you can do in that game. So like that's neat, but like I just don't have time to do that kind of shit.
Yeah.
All right. There's more I could say, but I think we talked enough about Zelda. Any other news anybody wanted to share?
I think the only thing on top of my head, unless anyone else has anything, is just hey, anime fans. You can watch anime legally now on YouTube. Thanks to Viz Media with Naruto, Death Note, and
Sailor Moon.
Oh yeah, all of Sailor Moon is now available. That's like 200 episodes of anime.
I don't have to worry about buying the Blu-ray copies.
Save some money too. Yeah, and then you could be all confused. Are these cousins? I thought they were cousins. They told me they were cousins.
Yeah. And then,
Well, That's it. Those are the ones you can remember, or those are all the ones that.
What's a very because Viz Media doesn't own a lot. It's like literally Naruto, Death Note, Hunter, but only like the first season or two of Hunter, all of Sailor Moon, most of Naruto OG, and I don't think maybe Shippuden. I don't know if it's Shippuden or
So
not.
out of the ones you mentioned, you can watch everything there, or
Death Note 100%, Sailor Moon 100%, Naruto. I think the best part of the original show. Shippuden, I don't think so, but maybe I'm wrong. And only like the first half of Hunter, and I think there's one more thing because Viz Media doesn't own a lot. They only own like the heavy hitters. No JoJo, because I'm trying to think what else do they own. I think it's like JoJo and like something else. They don't own too many titles left. But hey, those are like classics, and we talked about some of those on our second episode of the podcast. So there you go.
well, I might check them out. So shall we move on to the bracket in honor of March Madness, or?
Oh, you want to do the bracket first?
Yeah,
Okay, you're the host, Frank. You want to do the bracket? We could do the bracket first.
yeah. Let's. I'm excited about this tournament and
All right.
seeing.
some bracketology over here.
Is it because that you're so into March Madness? Is that why you wanted to
It's
get
got the
into so
fever.
eagerly?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that basketball game earlier had me. Had me
Wait,
going.
how did it end?
Oh, I won.
Yay!
Hey.
Money for Frank.
And I can pay for the podcast hosting this
afford
month.
Yay.
we can keep recording.
we can keep this podcast going.
You just like gets up
Bruh.
and leaves.
We're not cat. There will be an episode 4. Woo!
Uh-huh.
We're still alive, boys. All right. So, Ray, do you have the list? Because
I do have the list.
my phone.
So what
a
is
bit
the exact list?
What is our bracket, Frank?
what is this bracket?
far. Well, we're gonna face off consoles in a 16-team bracket. So I was thinking we should. I'm gonna listen to all three of you give your opinion,
Uh-huh.
and then since I'm the host, I'll always be right. And
That's true.
He's not wrong.
The host is God. Confirm.
and I'll decide who has
And then the real God, the editor, is me. Controls everything. Isn't that right, my
Yeah.
puppets?
Yeah, he goes like, yeah, that's cute. That's cute. And it's like,
And delete.
No, well, I'm thinking since we're an even number, the votes for you three will count. I'll say my opinion, but just to have a winner.
Tiebreaker, yeah.
That makes sense.
So can I borrow that?
You can
Frank?
use my phone, Frank.
Alright.
It has the little bracket here. And we go along. If you want, you can use my notepad if you need to take notes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. I was
I'm a-
gonna ask you.
Some,
that.
some
I'm a
matches-
what's the word?
backseat driver?
Yeah, I'm sure of that too. I control. I do everything here.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go over the consoles and then we'll get started.
All right.
So as the number 1 seed is PS2. I don't agree with that, but
It is based. I will help Frank out. This is based on units sold worldwide.
Oh.
So these are based on. This is the seeds is logical, factual. Well, close as we could get to sale numbers.
Yeah.
Not just well, what do I feel? Well, because if it's true, we would just say the Dreamcast is number 1 and call it a day
yes, the
here.
Dreamcast.
Because we know what's the real winner around here.
Uh-huh.
You Hakusho fans, they know what the
Yeah,
winner is.
Yeah. Isn't that right, God?
this
okay.
is some BCS BS going on here. Yeah. All right, so you know what? I'm just gonna go at 1 PS2, going off with N64. Wow, really? A 16 seed is N64.
Yep.
All right, 9th seed Xbox 360 against 8th seed PS3. 5th seed PS4 going against 12th seed 3DS. 13th seed NES. That's the regular Nintendo for those that.
Nintendo Entertainment System.
Going against GBA. No, GBC. Whoa, that's even older.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Switch going against Xbox One. PSP against PS1. Wii against GBA. And NES against DS. That's a Super Nintendo for those that,
For those who don't know.
Yeah.
well, does that know the common name? All right, then I guess we'll start with the number 1 seed. And randomly, since Andy is our guest of honor today,
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna let you say your say first.
And this is so I'm basically choosing between N64 and PS2.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha. This is very hard for me, and I'm gonna try not to, ponder on this too hard. But I feel
You
like
have
I'm
10 seconds.
I'm basically very, very, very biased over the N64. So it's like,
Ooh.
do I not include? How much is this objective, and how much is this like? I guess it can be whatever.
It is your vote. Whatever
It's
you
my
want. It's
vote,
your vote,
yeah.
Andy. Well, this is America.
Well,
after
I mean,
all.
I guess I could just say that sentence and say my vote is N64. Quite honestly,
You
because
could.
I think it's going to be.
Have you played both?
Yes. Okay. So yes, but way more 64. Like
What
it's
is
like
your
20-to-1 ratio, like difference.
Then this should be easy. What's your favorite PS2 game? In 5 seconds.
Vice City.
In 5
Metal Gear
seconds.
Solid 3. Like we.
Oh,
Talked,
that's
yeah,
true.
All right.
I put this on my
and
top favorite. Game.
Favorite 64 game?
Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, Banjo Kazooie.
And is that one better than the other one?
Is Banjo Kazooie better than
Metal Gear Solid.
That hurts. That hurts.
I love when we're called back to episode 1.
I know exactly. That's
Listeners, go back to episode
I
1.
like how hardcore we're going. Like just like
The
off
first
bat.
bracket already sweating
I
down here.
know this is brutal. I know when you said N64 versus PS2, I was like, you had to start there. That's rough. I'm gonna go with yeah, I'm still gonna go with Banjo Kazooie because of replayability. Whereas I find going into Metal Gear Solid 3 more of a daunting. I got to get ready for it. I'm playing Metal Gear Solid. I could just put on Banjo Kazooie and be like, whoop.
So you're still rolling with 64.
I'm rolling with 64.
Rolling with 64.
Weird jet controller and all. It's
Yeah.
like
You just gotta grow that extra hand.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
it's a Star Wars fighter jet.
I mean, he's
It
not
took down the
wrong.
Death Star.
You know, that makes part of its charm. It's so quirky. It's so weird. It's like, look at me. I got
Everyone
this.
loves the underdog.
That's such a Nintendo thing to do, though. Like, look at this fucking arm it's got over here. Like, what the fuck?
We'll put the Z button down here.
So yeah, that's my vote. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Let's go with Miles next. What's your take?
For me, I thought about it for a bit, you know, because the PS2 did had is it Ape Escape 2, Ape Escape 3,
You love those Ape Escapes.
That he does.
you know, Final Fantasy 10. Alright, but to me, the game I always like. Again, I do play Banjo-Kazooie a lot more. Even despite, you know, it's on the Xbox, I did play a lot on the Switch online since that came. It's on the expansion pass now.
That's great.
And also, I'm near Paper Mario.
I'll ask you the same question. Favorite PS2 game
Ape Escape 2.
and favorite.
Really? You want to rethink that?
I love that choice.
Well,
Ape
I mean,
Escape 2, that's
wait, what?
great.
Save the homeland? Is that what you want, right?
No, but you like it in the same way that you would like Banjo Kazooie, right? Like that's cool.
Yeah.
Sure it is, Andy. Sure it is.
And favorite 64 game?
Probably Paper Mario.
Based on how long you took, I think you like PS2.
Well, I mean, because Paper Mario to me, it always seems like it's quirky. It's a lot, you know, because, you know, everything's paper, you know, and it's very, I kind of like the two designs more, though if you look at it now, it is very, you know, dated.
Have you not made up your mind yet?
No, I did.
What's your pick?
64.
All right, 2 for 60. Sorry, I don't know if you're going for PS2, but
So, to be honest, I don't know. I honestly went back and forth, and I thought about it. Personally, for me, because I was a 64 kid, so my first lenience is towards that. But then PS2 was such a huge catalog of games.
I know.
Metal Gears, some of the Resident Evils, the Silent Hills, Devil May Cry. So many like games that I enjoyed quite. Kingdom Hearts 2, which was on my list on episode 1. Honestly, I think if I had a choice, I'd probably actually still PS2 just because of the catalog. It's such a massive catalog, so many great games. The Grand Theft Autos, the Dragon Ball, all the Dragon Balls, terrible and good Dragon Ball Z games that are on the
Dragon
PS2.
Ball Sagas.
Always picking the best ones there, Miles. So yeah, I think despite my nostalgia in my heart, I think my logical brain would kick in and said, no, the PS2 is the better one. But I guess it doesn't matter because 64 wins.
Wow. So you would have picked PS2.
I would have picked PS2.
I would too. It has a lot more games that I played. I can only think of a few 64 games that I like. No Metroid.
That's true. Zelda?
Zelda,
We
but
got
it's not
Zelda.
my favorite Zelda. It's
okay.
the one that we were forced to play.
We had no choice.
I'm not. It does have my favorite like mainstream Mario game, like which is 64. But it's like Zelda. I was forced to play it. Like there was nothing else.
You will like Ocarina of Time.
After that, I didn't. I think I was not too much into Mario games. What else?
Final Fantasy.
On 64?
No, I guess. I thought my brain went PS2.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying
64 games. Gotcha.
I'm trying to think of great 64 games that
Pokemon Snap.
okay, no.
You can get the stickers printed at Blockbuster, Frank.
I'm such a Rareware head. I argue a lot of the Rareware games are just so good.
True.
Did you
I
go
mean,
racing?
if you don't like GoldenEye, then you got Perfect Dark, which is like definitely a way better game.
They're good, but I wouldn't for me they wouldn't beat like the Final Fantasy games They wouldn't beat
Perfect Dark beat that for me.
Well,
Mega Man. All right. Oh, but those are the terrible Mega Man games. Never mind.
Well, we didn't have PS2 for a while because we like Ray said, we had a 64, and that's what we had. So,
Right.
you know,
And the
wait,
Dreamcast.
I'm thinking PS1.
I was thinking. It's funny. I was thinking PlayStation. My brain PS1. I'm like, oh right, different bracket, different section. We'll get there eventually.
Well, either way, my choice would have been PS2, but since this format is only 3 votes count, 64 or no,
64.
64.
Yeah, 64, yeah.
Or even
Okay.
Camp the 16, it does it. The underdog has done it.
Wow.
Who had bets on 64?
Everyone
Honestly,
lost so much money right
I
now.
honestly was like, oh, I think PS2. Like I was thinking that earlier. I was like, I don't think N64 is gonna win.
Nostalgia wins over all everything else.
I guess so.
All right, second matchup. It is Xbox 360 against PS3.
Ooh, literally the battle of the
Ooh.
generation.
That's a good. Actually, that's pretty good.
And,
Yeah.
And for this round, or not round, for this matchup, we'll start with Ray.
Oof. So history. I had a PS3 first. I had one not when it first came out because it's $600. Fuck that. But then when they realized, oh, they're not selling, they dropped it to $500. We bought that PS3. You know, and here's a quick answer why PS3 versus Xbox 360. For one, it's the first console. More importantly, the OG PS3 had PS3, PS2, PS1 games. It wins. That's my quick argument. Oh, on Blu-ray. You can watch Blu-ray movies. That's a
Yeah.
bonus.
Would you
Yeah,
like
well.
to say a favorite game for each console?
Metal Gear Solid 4 comes to mind, which is the big reason why I bought a PS3. That and no, that's what I was thinking. Oh no, Uncharted 2 might actually be my favorite PS3 game.
Oh.
That's a really good game.
And for the loser?
For the 360, I talked about in episode 1, Mass Effect 2.
All right.
Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect, and I'm trying to think what was the other. Oh, and Dead Space. Ooh, Dead Space. And there's a fuck, I gotta play the remake of Dead Space.
I'm gonna jot down PS3 for you. And Miles?
Let's see. To me, probably off the bat would be the PS3. A lot of Active games are on there. There's also the Master games are on there. The Count games on there.
So just vote for PS3.
I didn't say PS. Yeah, I said PS3. No problem with the 360 other than the Splinter Cell. I think maybe.
Now it's Xbox One
Oh,
or
no.
OG. Oh god.
Okay, I'm
Xbox
sorry. I'm trying
One.
to think because 360.
Did you even play the 360? Now I think about it.
I think maybe I played arcade just to play Banjo-Kazooie. I think that does that count?
We had Pac-Man. We had
The-
Championship Edition. That happened. That was good.
No, that was good. But I guess to me, 360
Gears. Oh, you like Gears?
Yeah, Okay, Gears 1. Yeah, because like that was pretty good. Gears 2.
Gears 2 is still good.
And I never played Gears 3.
Yeah, I think the first 3 are fine. You could play them all. They're all kind of the same thing, but they're all good games.
Yeah. But I guess the 360 would be. I don't know why I think Gears was in PS1 or no, the Xbox One.
Oh Jesus.
But yeah, no, I guess that would be my top one for the 360 Gears.
So you
But-
said PS3.
But I say
PS3.
PS3 though.
All right.
There can only be one.
It has more games. More
And
games.
Andy?
Yeah, that's I feel like I'm also kind of going the same path of like I just played PS3 more, so I'm gonna say PS3. But it's almost I could almost argue for the okay, PS3 because of Metal Gear. Like I got a PS3 because of Metal Gear. If it wasn't for that, I probably because I had been playing on a 360 before that the whole time, and it was like,
Oh,
like,
interesting.
Metal Gear's coming. I'm like, I guess I'm getting me my own PS3 now because me and my brother would share the Xbox.
Oh.
But then and I was like, I gotta get this for myself. So I did that. But before then, I was like, yeah, I mean, other than that, like everything else is so like cross-platform. It's like, what does it even matter? You know, like all these games I'm playing, like
Right.
like Oblivion. I played Oblivion to death, but that's on PS3.
That's true.
And then like I played like other games, like but then there were also good exclusive PS3 games. But then they also said like I was like Assassin's Creed, but Xbox
That was on both of them.
Creed, so
But there was like sometimes there were difference. Like with Bayonetta on the PS3 was almost unplayable. So you really had to get the 360 for Bayonetta. And there's a couple times where
I don't think I
the poor developers couldn't develop for the what was it, the cell processor.
Oh yeah, that was that issue. A lot of games.
There was certain games that like it just did not run as well versus the 360 because the 360 was a lot easier to develop for at the time. So there was good reason. But then also they all kept dying on everyone all the time. The 360s with the red
so
ring.
did the PS3s.
They not as quickly, but they definitely both had problems for sure.
I fucking bricked and I went to Frankensons.
Oh,
Fixed it for like 6 months.
I was lucky. Our fat PS3 made it like past the generation to PS4 era, and then it finally died. But then we got it shipped out and fixed, and I still have it. And I'm like kind of paranoid to open. Oh no, I don't want to open it. Oh no.
Yeah, it's only emergencies, right? Or for streams. Things
Yeah,
that.
like special streams or something. I think I'll bust it out. But
Streams?
well, like the Twitching and all that.
Oh.
In the future, down the line, Andy.
Yeah. Once we get this podcast
After the
going,
podcast, we hit 1 million subscribers. We'll get the 24-hour stream going.
A million.
Gotta believe, Frank. Gotta believe.
Okay, how about 500,000? With that lower expectations
With
that
that-
low.
I think I'm more likely to win $1 million.
Not with that attitude,
With
Frank.
my gambling then here.
Wait, so
Do you want to make a bet on that?
what about you, Frank?
Yeah, I'll bet you a pizza. This is, I don't even have a 360, so this is like
Slam dunk right here.
All right, there's no contest.
No
No
brainer.
contest.
I always looked at the Xbox and I'm like, yeah, they're not gonna convince me.
I know. I'm like that. I feel like I'm kind of like that too.
Dang, a
Well,
knockout here.
Well, the thing is that the Xbox in general never did very well in Japan, right? So a lot of Japanese developers never.
That's
made
also a thing.
Mm.
Never
So if they're
made
into,
certain-
yeah.
We're not here to make excuses for them. They
But,
lost.
and also,
They had
Moving on.
choices.
when I think 360, I think like shooter like Gears, right? More like shooter.
The
shooter,
Halo
bang, bang.
machine.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I
Halo-
never cared for Halo.
I was never a big Halo person
I
either.
played it. I was like, yeah, it's fine.
I always
Mm.
had hate for Halo.
Hate for Halo. Hashtag hate for Halo.
I
Oh, there.
want that to be a soundbite.
I know what the social post will be for this week's
Uh,
episode.
I mean, to be fair, I enjoyed the first one. It was fun playing it with my cousin, trying to do the legendary. That was hard.
The co-op.
But I did bug me that I would be going through the levels and I'm like, wait, wasn't I in this room already? What's going on? They would do that a
Oh.
lot.
Their
That's
environments.
true.
So
They're
that was fun
boring
to be fair.
environments.
But the hate started with Halo 2 and how it got Game of the Year over Metroid Prime Echoes, which
Oh, we talked about this previously.
I'm
Yes.
not gonna let that go.
Don't let it go. Let it fester. Let that
Echoes
hatred
is
grow.
fucking- I would agree with you.
Who's gonna get a
Echoes is-
remake and
Oh well.
Well,
I mean, they did it.
who will
massive-
eventually get a remake if there's time and money allowed?
I don't think they'll ever make a Halo 2 remake.
That technically happened, Frank.
They had
A remake or not just re-release it.
No,
Like,
they remade
did.
it.
Really?
Yeah, it's on the
That-
Master Chief collection.
What's different about it?
It's I like how somehow I become the Halo person. I don't really care for it at all.
Turn it on, please. I lost the bracket with this heated conversation.
It happens.
Now, well, it's just that Halo's one of the things. I think it's like one of those things. Like if you had to at the time, you have such like, oh, look, this. It's kind of like Gears in a way. Gears was like a moment like you get it for the like you had to be there in a moment. Oh, there's this game. Oh, and that's why you choose that game, right? But I think the overall the PS3 overall had more titles that people played more, and they had a lot more exclusives that the 360 didn't had too. So that's why
That's true.
because that's why it wins, because it has a lot. It has Japanese developers, and that the market towards them most of the time.
Are we talking about Halo?
No, we're not.
No, we're talking about
360 in general.
Oh, no.
But I think we can move on,
Xbox
Frank. I think
lost.
they definitely lost by
next
landslide.
matchup. Next match.
Here we go.
All right, now we have PS4 versus 3DS. Now this one for me.
Damn, this is harder than I would like to admit.
No, it's maybe it's gonna be easy.
So let's start with you.
All right, 3DS or what is it? What, NES or 3DS?
3DS.
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 3DS because Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Two games that originally not from this console.
Yeah, but they did.
But they do look and run better.
and they did change a lot of things in those games. So
Water Temple's actually playable.
Yeah, the water temple's actually button tells you the water goes lower and down. Oh, but they also changed a lot of things in Majora's Mask, especially they changed a lot the boss fights, things like that, and more playability. But other than that, it also had Mario Luigi games, the Dream Team, the remasters of Bowser's Inner Story and the Paper Jam. There was Fire Emblem Awakening, sort of.
Why are you saying that game? Like,
That's a question mark there.
Well, I'm saying there were a lot. But when that game came out, that's when Fire Emblem came back, right? Like,
You're not wrong, but yeah.
I'm getting. It's on the list.
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane,
It's-
Zelda
it's on
man.
the- it's on- it's
Ape
on the
Escape
list.
Zelda, that's your lane, Miles.
The WarioWare Golden. WarioWare Golden, that was pretty good. The paper. Well, I mean, I could go on for years, but they.
Yeah, let's have someone else vote. Andy.
I'm gonna say this as someone that doesn't own a PS4, but PS4.
Okay, then.
I have a 3DS, and I feel like when all is said and done, 3DS is just here's the DS again. Here it is again.
Like,
Like,
he's not wrong. I mean, at the
here
end,
you go. Here it is. Which, so like, with that being said, it's like, I guess I'm not like as impressed with it as a system as say I was when like 2DS came out, or just the regular DS, I should say. And I think there's a lot that I've always, and like, I've never had a PS4, but I've had in my head since it came out, I wish I had one. And I still like, I'm like, oh, I wish I had one. I mean, for Death Stranding, like alone, like, I mean, I know it's on the PS, like, it's like, I guess it's like, I'm like talking about like Kojima games, like drawing me to their consoles, but I'm like, PS4 has Kojima, and like, yes, 3DS had the Snake eater
Oh,
thing.
right, there's a 3DS
It was
version.
just you know,
It
it was an add-on. It was there, but like as like a Kojima thing, they had that, and then just like their huge library. But again, then like if I'm gonna argue PS4 versus like Xbox One, right?
OG or one?
The one that was competing with PS4. I don't even know. Which
So
one it
yeah, it
is.
would be the one.
Yeah,
No.
so like I would like that argument is harder for me to make because I feel like in my mind they're so similar. But yeah, I'll just say PS4. Yeah, that's my vote.
I have something I want to add to that, but first I want to hear from Ray.
Oh. It's a tough one because I made the argument with the PS2 and the 64 is like the PS2 just has the bigger catalog, and just by the sheer, there's more, maybe there's not as many super memorable games, but there's enough like great games in between. And the PS4 has the same thing. It's a huge catalog. There's so many great games. You got Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
You got, I mean, the Yakuza series is all now on the PS4, which is great, amazing. This is like a series that I enjoy quite a bit that finally got the love on the PS4. And like all the Sony first party, for the most part, I enjoyed. Horizon, but it's a lot. The problem is,
Are you still deciding? Oh.
well, I'm still deciding, but here's the deciding factor. At the end of the day, it doesn't have Awakening. I need to have my Fire Emblem Awakening, and that's only on the 3DS, or perhaps on another device if you have a copy of 3DS and you know how to do that. There's another way to play Awakening, but yeah, Fire Emblem Awakening is just one of my favorite games. That
Tell me about that later.
I can tell you more, perhaps after the show, Frank. This is my legit copy. Nothing. Don't have to go on the internet. No Google's involved. Just me knowing what to do. Anyway, so 3DS gets my vote for Fire Emblem Awakening, Ace Attorney, both the
Layden and Ace Attorney.
Yeah, that also exists. I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan, but the Pokemon game that I played the most in recent memory that I enjoyed quite a bit was the Sun and Moon series, and that's on the 3DS. Those were really good games. They have like the weird crossover game, which also has Awakening characters with the Capcom and Sega. That weird
Project
crossover.
Exo?
That one, That's all in the 3DS. Virtual's Last Reward, that series is on there too. So there's so many like niche Japanese games that's only, or at the time was only on the 3DS, that I like those games. Those are my personal favorite games. And once again, it's funny, for the PS2 I went objectively, but this time I'm going for like my personal subjective view, and the 3DS gets my vote.
Interesting. I think Andy mentioned that there's a big catalog for PS4.
That there is.
I agree, but there also, for me, there's a huge catalog for 3DS games that I like. When you mentioned what game would I like to see on the Virtual Console, it's not a GBA game; it's a 3DS game, and that would be Kid Icarus.
Uprising.
That game was so fun.
Oh yeah.
I lost my thumb, but it was worth it.
I like trying to get the difficulty to 9.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the PS4, I think that's the system that kind of really got me into action RPG games, like Tomb Raider, Horizon. Can't think of the other ones, but there's more. Star Wars. So that's the kind of game that I like the most right now. But the 3DS, It's funny that Andy said that it's just another Game Boy. Or
Which is true. It definitely was. It was.
But-
It had a terrible launch for sure.
the 3D part, I don't care for it. It made
Exactly.
me dizzy.
Well, then you can turn it off, and then that's when the 2DS and things afterwards. Like, just play the game without needing the 3D, because that it came, it saw, and I think after like Mario 3D Land, I think now we were done.
Yeah, it's just it wasn't that interesting for me because as long as it, it's 3D drawings and stuff like that.
yeah,
I don't need actual 3D. But the really cool thing, and I wish the Switch had this, was the Street Pass. I think that was a really cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Some games had some really nice features
That's
with
true.
it, and I'm like, you're going to the store? Let me go with you. I'll take my 3DS with me.
Yeah.
With Kid Icarus, it had a cool thing where like you get weapons and stuff, and then you could see other people's like, oh, this person beat it on difficulty 9 or something like that.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know I did that.
I wish they did that more, because
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know why
kind of
they,
select.
I don't know why they don't do that with the Switch when you can carry it around and stuff.
I'm surprised they probably think about it when
Switch 2?
Switch 2, some of that, because I think it's one of those features that I think they probably didn't think it was very popular, right?
I remember, and this is another maybe like a personal thing, but I remember going to parks, and they would call it Street Pass meetups. So there was just a bunch of people that would just go and meet just to get the Street Pass thing, and it just met some cool people there.
Right? Yeah.
I don't think what are we talking about? The
PS3. It's hard to take the PS3 out to the park. Yeah. I mean, I'll get the monitor. I'll get the projector, guys. I'll be there. One sec. Let me turn
the
it.
power generator.
Yeah.
It really created a kind of like a social thing.
Yeah.
And then I remember going to like a basketball game and like, hey, somebody else plays this game. Where are you? So yeah, for me, I would have picked the 3DS. I think it's got great games, and it had that Street Pass feature that I think hasn't been replicated. So the next matchup would be.
So I'm saying, did we say which one won? I mean,
everybody,
obviously
3DS, I think.
except
Okay.
you.
It's dead.
I mean, we're all right, and then there's Andy.
It's dead.
I just didn't hear like and you lost.
All right. Hold
tried,
on.
Andy.
PS4 eliminated.
You are now dead.
You are the weakest link.
Goodbye.
All right. So next one, NES versus GBC. In other words, Nintendo versus Game Boy Color. While you guys think, for me this is easy. Game Boy Color.
Oh, I'm surprised that you feel that way.
Yeah. Besides Zelda, what else is there on the Nintendo?
Well, I
Mega Man?
I feel like there's tons of good stuff. I mean,
Mega Man was on regular Nintendo?
Yeah,
Yeah,
OG
1 and
Mega
2,
Man.
yeah.
Not X, but OG Mega Man.
Well, Mega Man didn't get good until 8.
No.
What?
All right,
I know you're joking, Frank, but I'm partly
That
pissed
is
for real.
So messed up.
Mega Man 1 through 3 are classics.
That's like a slur.
You're not the host today, so your opinions lose value.
They don't matter.
But yeah, Game Boy Color was so cool. Like I like the translucent.
The purple one?
Yeah,
that's
the one I had.
That was mine.
the
I
one I
rocked
had.
it.
Yeah.
It's like it. I mean, I will say it
That-
is one of the best handheld
Was it
things.
Play It Loud
like,
or whatever it was called?
ever.
Is that what
Yeah.
it's-
If
what-
I'm not
Super
mistaken, that's where I
Nintendo?
played Pokemon Silver.
They had like
Yeah, it would be that
everything,
generation.
Like, at the time, it was like everything was on Game Boy Color. It was like you play.
That's true.
Or at least it was like on a Nintendo
So
console.
my vote doesn't count, but that's what I would have picked just to convince you guys.
See if you sway that.
Let's go with Andy first for this one.
I feel like I'm trying so hard not to be like a historian and be like NES because it was the first one and it did.
That's true.
But-
That's
but-
a good point.
But I still feel
Shit.
like I don't think that's not a valid opinion, so I am gonna go with NES, and that is gonna be part of my argument. But I will say that, like I was saying, well, okay, so like on my list of like,
Is that
Like-
final vote?
well, all right, yes, because Super Mario Brothers 3 was on one of my top list games.
Okay.
So yeah,
Being true to yourself, I like it.
I have to be true to my heart.
All right. Miles.
Do you need? Yeah, it sounds like Ray needs time.
I'm thinking over here. I'm thinking.
All right, to me, it's probably the Game Boy Color because that's one.
Attaboy.
Well, the thing is, like especially like the Link's Awakening, one of the classic GB games. They brought a lot of color into it. A lot of other games, like if you had like the Super Game Boy attachment, or if you, it brings like different color schemes, like the old games. So like, some games that were like black and white. Like, oh look, it's like there's a little color here, like Waterland, like 2 and 1.
Yeah.
Like they look really nice in there.
They added texture to games, which I really like.
And also the fact that the console, of course, is pretty cool because it's translucent. Because no one does that these days anymore.
I can pencil you in for Game Boy Color.
Can I lock you in?
And the only downside is like if you want to play it, you had to get a lot of the goofy attachments. You got to get the string magnifier, the light, because the light, you need to get the light for the systems. You can see the light in the back because it wasn't until like the GBA they actually put a backlight, GBA SP I think had a backlight because it was kind of hard to watch it play at night.
Right.
Oh, right. All the
forgot
weird
about-
accessories.
I totally forgot about SP
magnifying
until
glasses
you mentioned
and
it.
shit.
Yeah.
The SP was so cool.
And then you,
Why is that not on the
plug
list?
in the
It's-
you plug in the speakers to get the stereo sound because they're like little speakers you put on the side. And
All the
like,
goofy things.
Wow,
And
you had too many stuff.
and also the portability.
That was
right?
when Warehouse was going out of business.
And also the Game & Watch games. No, but eventually I went to the other 1 and 2 because they only put 3 on the virtual console. I think they only put the Game & Watch Gallery 3 for some reason, not like 1 or 2. But
So
there's
you
a-
are choosing Game Boy Color.
yeah.
Game
Okay,
Boy.
okay.
And now Ray has no choice.
Shit, out of all the ones, this is by far the toughest because, as Miles suggested, our first Nintendo was the Game Boy / Game Boy Color, so a lot of my memories are there. But as Andy pointed out, the historical factor of the NES is like it brought back the video game industry. So it's like it's hard. And Zelda, Mario, Mega Man. Mega Man is the big one. I like Mario.
Bro.
Zelda, I like.
Ice Climbers.
Ice climbers.
Yeah.
Yoshi?
Despite, I guess.
Oh, I love Yoshi.
I'm gonna go with a little bit more of my brain than my heart and say NES.
Oh.
Really? That's what your brain does?
Yeah,
that's
Oh, okay.
just because it's the historical factor. Super Mario Bros. 3, Mega Man
Yeah,
1 through Mega Man 1 through 6, but I guess in my brain 1 through 3.
Mega Man 2, really. Mega Man 2.
It's hard.
Can I try? Can you one day in the future when you have time and you want to play a Mega Man game? Can you try out Bucky O'Hare on the Nintendo?
Oh, Bucky O'Hare. Yeah.
You played that?
I know of.
Okay.
I played it, but like I didn't
Okay.
really sit down and play it.
That's
I know that's a big personal favorite of yours.
Yeah. Like I had for some reason I totally missed Mega Man, but I got the clone. A really good like it was such like a commercial like I'm sure it was like executives in an office are like let's make this character and like but the game is so good. It's like it's a genuinely good Mega Man clone. So I
Oh,
recommend it. Yeah.
It's kind of funny how you said it brought the game industry back, and I just thought of that song. I think it's called "Sexy Back."
It did.
That's the new NES theme
The
song.
theme song. Bringing it back. Pretty sexy back.
Well, I'm sad you guys went with the wrong choice for this one, but to be fair, I can remember more games on the Nintendo than the Game Boy Color. I think I played for the Game Boy Color. I just played my Game Boy games. But
Well, yeah, and I guess it is Game Boy. I guess it's Game Boy / Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Enhance, I guess.
Yeah, but I figured because the Game Boy Color can't play old Game Boy games.
some of my favorite Nintendo games. Now that I'm thinking about it, Lolo, that one game was.
Oh, that is a
dope.
good game.
That Bugs Bunny game. I don't know if you ever played it.
Oh, Crazy Castle.
I don't know.
No, that was the Game Boy one.
No, the Nintendo one.
I probably
remem-
have.
I just remember pulling carrots out of the ground. That shooting game, and then the dog would laugh at you.
Oh,
Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt.
See, Duck Hunt's sick.
Yeah, no, I'm happy.
That was
I could
so-
sleep at night knowing I pick NES now.
I love Duck
No,
Hunt
no.
I'm
so
here to
much.
make you feel better.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you.
All right, so Nintendo sadly wins.
Nintendo. Well, Nintendo.
No
wins
bias
no
here on
matter
the
what.
host.
NES.
Nintendo wins no matter what in that category.
I guess so.
All right, next matchup. It is Switch versus Xbox One.
I think we could.
Can we just skip this
Can
one?
we just? We know who won this.
Yeah, we can skip it.
What are you talking?
Xbox One clearly with the connect power of the Connect
Hey,
to
no,
Yeah,
never-
boy.
Never. The Xbox One, you're number one for entertainment.
media content. Plug in your TV cable box because cable's thriving, baby.
All right, wait. What is their killer game that isn't Halo or Destiny or something like that? You know what I mean?
I got. As an owner of Xbox One, I got nothing for you, Andy. Red Dead Redemption 2 for the Xbox One X is my best answer.
Can we
PlayStation?
can we move on and say this was a TKO?
Yeah, this was.
They're
All right.
done.
They didn't even show up to the match. They were dead before they came.
They're on the floor.
They forgot their jerseys and they didn't play the game.
They disqualified
They
even
showed
Cup.
up naked. They're like, oh,
Uh,
we're not ready at all.
I was
All
not
right.
prepared.
Next matchup is a bit more interesting. Not really, but it's
Supposed to
PSP,
Hype.
PSP.
PSP versus PS1.
okay.
That seems
And
wrong.
now,
Sony against
and,
the Sony.
and now the fight. Now the fight. Okay, now we gotta.
But
warm
you
up
can
now.
play PS1 games on the PSP.
God.
I was stuttering because I kind of wrote BS1, or B5 one. What did I write? But I got it. I think it's PS1. All right, I'm going with the one that's not thinking, and Miles.
Mm.
Oh wait, he is thinking.
He's
thinking again.
Andy.
Well,
You go first. I'm picking you.
All right.
I choose you.
Oh! Finally
Yeah.
out of the Pokeball. All right. So for me, this is easy. PS1. PSP is kind of like it's like a niche thing. Like you have a PS1, you're kind of in the rare category of people.
I
The
have
only
one.
game that I can think of for PSP is, and it might not even be for that one. Is Final Fantasy Tactics.
That was on there. I was gonna say.
Was it Vita or was it that one?
No, it was PSP.
Oh,
The War of the Lion.
so one game on the PSP that I like, and it's a
Birth
game
by
that's
Sleep. That's another.
And
yeah,
it
that's
was-
a PSP.
and
That's
it was
PSP?
already on the PS1, so it's like for me it's an easy choice. No need to think about it. Stop thinking about it. Just vote PS1.
Yeah, it's PS1.
Yes.
And it's funny because a lot of you, like I said, mentioned.
I might invite you to my wedding now.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you. The PSP you could play a bunch of PS1 games, but they weren't as good. The PSP, it's like you said, the exclusives. There's not too many exclusives because most of the games also on PS1. And then did they ever put Resident Evil 2 on the PSP? I want to say no. So by that reason alone, that's why I picked PS1.
I just think it was inconvenient. PSP.
It was okay. It tried.
To me, PSP is like having
Portable ops.
a
We had
different-
portable ops.
it's like having a different phone, but it needs a different charger, so you don't use it that much.
Yeah, that was silly.
No, it had more than portable ops, didn't it? It had portable
Oh,
ops
acid.
and acid. Acid was okay. No,
Acid was
actually, those were
okay.
fun. But no, it had the
Oh, Peace Walker.
Peace Walker.
Peace. Oh,
That's
Nope, too late.
no, but Peace Walker versus
I already penciled
Metal
you.
Gear Solid 1. No, I'm still
That's-
no.
And that's what I was gonna say too.
Yeah.
Like that's so big.
Yeah, no PS. And I'm not a big PlayStation 1 person, but yeah, I
Yeah,
get
I kind of feel the same.
Yeah.
way.
I already have it
PS1.
written down, so
it's official now. There it is.
it's in pen.
There you go.
All right, Miles, you good?
All right, here. Okay, I forgot to be against green everyone here. I'm gonna say the PSP.
You're out.
No, but no, I do on the PS1 there is of course Ape Escape 1 and Harvest Moon Back to Nature. The PSP is how I was able to play the Dial Master games because they were
Oh, yeah. You're like
because
You're
originally
that guy.
It was-
because originally it was on the Xbox in Japan, and the way to play the game in Japan you had to get an Xbox console because there's no way to really unlock the Xbox because it's hardware based in. Obviously, I'm not going to buy an Xbox Japanese Xbox just to play one game. But they eventually released that game in 3 little bites or 3 little games itself, and that's how I got into Dial Master because I got those PSPs and able to play it because the PSP was region free, so I was able to play it and easily on the go. And also they had the better version of Back to Nature because you could also play the girl version in that one.
That's true.
Boy and girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also on that note, there was also like Persona 3 portable. So I have also like I have other Japanese games that were on the PSP first, and it was easy for me to get those, and I could play them without having really to do much effort with other consoles at the time. So I could play a lot, like Amigami. But I play a lot of games I got started from playing the PSP, so that's why PSP is my number one.
Okay, well, good try, but you didn't convince me.
I know.
Andy?
Oh, I was kind of when we were talking. I was sort of,
So
that was my answer when
Yeah,
I was like
PS1.
piggybacking
PS1.
off of you. Was
PS1
yeah.
one, right?
thank God for you.
I'm the weird.
You
niche
tried,
guy.
Miles. I'll give you credit. You almost swayed me. The Persona 3 portable made me go, shit, damn, portable is probably the better one.
I didn't like the portable one. I didn't like the whole thing where
The visual novel.
Yeah,
It does, but I like the story choices. That's only, well, it's got you could pick the femme protagonist, but then in Fez
Yeah.
you get the true ending question mark.
Okay. Well, we have a lot to go through, so let's move on.
Let's move on.
All right.
The next matchup would be we? Are we?
Whee!
Are we French now? And GBA, Game Boy Advance. Would you guys like me to say what I think, or anybody have an answer right off the bat?
I'll say mine.
Go for it, Andy. Go for it. I think
God.
I know what I want.
Oh god, I was like, I'll say it, and then I was about to say,
Maybe
like, wait,
maybe I don't know
do
what I
wanna
want.
say it? Oh god. Yeah, this one's actually really, 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 really hard for me. Like, this is like skin of the teeth of the other one. It's just like right there. It's like
Those are close. Those are
It's like
close.
you're letting like.
No,
if
I'm confident. I know this is easier than I thought. Never mind. Sorry, I know what the answer. My answer is
easier than you thought.
easier than I thought. I realized.
Oh,
Oh, duh.
Well,
Well,
Andy's still thinking.
Go ahead. Go ahead. So let me. Okay, go ahead.
So the Wii is a great console. It was. It's the GBA. It's my answer. If we want the quick version, GBA. The biggest reason.
Moving on. I'm just kidding.
Moving on. Fire Emblem, Advance Wars, Mario and Luigi, Metroid Zero Mission, Fusion, Pokemon. All the Pokemons. I'm not a big Pokemon person, but it's there. They got all those. What is the Wii's got? Galaxy, Wii Sports, Bad Metroid.
Zach and Wiki.
Okay, Zack and Wiki's all right.
Bad Metroid.
Lazy Resident Evil 4. And that's all that comes to mind. And I love Advance Wars and Fire Emblem alone is enough to give me the GBA. And then Mario and Luigi's and everything else I mentioned is why I picked the GBA.
I'm so glad he went. Oh my god.
Dodge a bullet there, huh? Dude?
All right, so let me pencil you in before I forget.
Make it official.
Miles, let's give Andy more time to think.
Well, me just like Ray, is GBA. How that rhymed. Anyway, the reason being, like, because there is also like, because I technically lost my copy of Pokemon Blue, while like years ago.
Oh, right, the remakes.
But they had the remakes of Leaf Green and
Yeah.
Fire Red, and it's like, okay, I'm in. And that. The Sonic Advance games were pretty fun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Sonic Advance 2 is so good.
Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories was pretty fun too.
It's okay.
But Mario Luigi, that was pretty good because for being a new game, it was like a very surprisingly they allowed them to do a lot of things in that game. For a Mario game, I'm surprised.
That was GBA?
Mario and Luigi, yeah.
Yeah.
The first one.
Oh, I'm thinking, yeah, because you know how we were talking about the SP house.
And the Wii does have like Brawl, or it has
Brawl's good.
It has
Zack and Wiki,
that
which is
cool
always
song.
it's this weird Square Enix game no one knows about other than probably me and Ray.
What's that?
Zack and Wiki.
That's Capcom.
Wait, so
Is that Capcom?
That's
just-
Capcom.
Oh, I
just
thought
to
it
write
was-
it down,
It's like Last Stories, Square Enix. Sorry.
Oh. Yeah, but yeah,
Or Square Enix.
GBA.
GBA. Okay. And you want to vote your
Yeah, I'll do. I feel like
Waste your time, Andy?
No. I'm like, I was thinking about it. Yeah, I'm glad I thought about it more because I think I am gonna have to do GBA, and I was just like thinking about like my history versus with GBA, like how big the library is, how much I've gone through on that system versus like Wii. And I kept on going. I'm like, I'm like, why am I still thinking of like Wii Sports, like hitting like the golf? I'm like, that was fun for like 5 months, and then I never did it again. It's like, why is this like such a draw? And it's not. It's just it's that gimmick. And it has like decent iterations of games. Like you were saying, Brawl is like probably one of my favorite iterations of the Smash Brothers series. But like other than that, like I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's just
two
got,
GameCubes duct taped together.
yeah, kind of. Really, yeah. Like I guess. Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, it's got to be GBA. I'm like, you're right. It's like I had to see the light. I had to see the light.
I shall send you all
showed
down the
me.
right path.
I think that
Follow me, my children.
I think that Ray just like blindfolded all of you guys and just said Wii Sports, and then just like, oh yeah, it was crappy. And also I think Ray doesn't like Zelda, so he's like, he probably like.
It was also on the GameCube.
But no, isn't that the worst? But that's the worst Zelda. That
Which one are you talking
Wind
about?
Waker,
It
Or-
also has.
Wait, I was about to slap you across the face, Ed.
Skyward Sword.
There we go.
Sorry, faux pas. Skyward Sword.
I don't
And
think
then
that was the
also Metro
worst
Prime- there was
one.
Metro-
No, I think it's the worst
It's-
one.
And there's
So-
Metro Prime 3 corruption. That's another one.
I would say that's the Metro Prime 3. I agree, it's like the weaker one of the three.
Mhm.
I really liked Skyward Sword, and
I was not a fan.
You're a brave soul,
and
Frank.
I don't
I'm
have
the
good
host,
memories with
so
that game.
this
Well,
is what
see,
counts today.
the thing with Skyward Sword is that it's like opposite of Breath of the Wild, right? There's so much story in that in Skyward Sword. It's just the gameplay. Just like it
I
gets,
like the gameplay.
Well, but it's like yes, this is my this is a Wii game, right? So we gotta do the motion controls, things like that, and then just
Yeah, I didn't like that.
it
That's stupid.
it
I
didn't
hate
work
it.
well because I felt like we grown at that point. We grown past beginning Wii games, and to just get that again, and and like Ray will mention, like the small world that's in like,
The
your
world is
cap-
the least interesting part. There was this big open sky and nothing to do in the big open sky.
Yeah.
But
It was so pointless.
if it wasn't for the story, you could chalk it right next to Triforce Heroes or no.
Oh,
I vaguely remember that.
really late in the 3DS, right?
Yeah, the one I think I literally played once. Went, yeah, nope.
Well, this is one where I don't mind that GBA one, but for me, it's Wii. One, all those games that you guys don't like, and the reason you don't like them, I like them.
So Zelda?
I like
And what,
Zelda.
What else
yes.
you got, Frank? Curiosity more.
Well, Smash Brothers. There's Prime. There's Xenoblade.
Oh,
There-
Xenoblade's good.
Xenoblade,
All right, I'll
too.
give you Xenoblade. I'll give you Xenoblade.
There's Pandora's Tower.
All right. Yeah, all right.
There's the last story.
The deep cut JRPGs. That's true. But like deep cut.
Well, I'm deep.
That's true.
can I say?
You are, Frank. You are.
I downloaded like stuff on there and stuff like that. The GBA.
Oh, I guess if you think the virtual console.
Well,
That's
the
true.
virtual, and I didn't want to put that into my decision so much because
put it in there.
Think about it.
But for
no,
me,
I
I mean, it's just a personal thing. Like the Wii came out on my birthday, so I have to pick it.
There you go.
Uh,
Makes sense.
In my family, we call it Wii Day.
It's free.
really?
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
Happy Wii Day,
yeah,
Frank.
yeah. That's what my cousin, he sends me a message like, "Happy Wii Day."
There it is.
All right.
But I don't mind your choice. So you're not all fired.
Yay.
But by popular decision, GBA wins. And the next and final matchup of the first round is Super Nintendo versus DS,
Yeah, this
also known as dual screen.
one.
I'll make this easy for everyone. DS because as a Genesis, I hate the Super Nintendo. As a Genesis fanboy, I hate the Super Nintendo.
And we didn't hear that, Andy.
I'm gonna say. I think I'm also gonna say DS.
From now on, we're just gonna go with you first because you're just copying Ray.
Well,
Good, Eddie. Good.
no, and then I guess also kind of not trying to, but I also grew up on Genesis. Like I did not have a Super Nintendo growing up. This first Super Nintendo game I played was on the Wii, so
There you go.
it didn't win, but who knows why.
It's a
It
mystery.
wasn't for that reason.
Genesis not on this list. They didn't even make the dance.
Wait,
Because we know it
it's not on the list.
did not technically make the list.
Oh my gosh! I feel like Well, I guess
I can tell you as a Sega fanboy, I was not happy about
I
that.
guess in defense.
So
of the
with this
dead
bracket,
Genesis-
all this episode's pointless because we know once again the real winner.
No, but Genesis will drag the SNES down with it because I'm voting Genesis. So neither will be in the competition.
Well, let's not talk about losers.
All right.
You said DS.
No,
And DS.
yeah, I'm saying DS.
DS.
But no, but DS also like the way it like changed like multiplayer like games with like your friends and family. Like it was just like it was so huge. Like it was like the best thing on like road trips. Like the way you like it was like I can play games. It almost felt like I was finally playing games like the way I did on like an N64 or something, but on the road instead of like something a little more simplified that was like maybe on the. Does that make any sense?
No, I agree.
Yeah, and I feel like that's just yeah, I feel like it was just like it was almost like having a slightly better N64 on the go. That was like really cool.
Before we go to Miles, I'll try to convince you to change your vote.
Okay. I'm gonna let you speak, but first,
I'm gonna I'm so interested.
We're
now.
gonna have to. Well, for me, it's a lot of nostalgia with Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's when I really got into games.
False memories, Frank. False memories.
False memories. I eat fish, so I remember good. That's when for me, that's first Metroid, Super Metroid, my first Zelda. Like,
Those
no,
are-
it wasn't. But the first Zelda that I loved was
Those are really good.
Link to the Past.
Fair enough.
yeah.
There was that weird game. What was it called? Like Beyond the Beyond. It was weird game where there was like a big eye on the cover.
I don't know.
As a Genesis kids, I have no idea.
You have to
I
share
believe
with us.
I played Street Fighter there.
Street Fighter's there.
Double Dragon, I think.
That's also correct. Question mark.
Battletoads, Ninja Turtles. No, Battletoads I think was Nintendo.
Yeah, Battle.
The original, yeah.
Ninja Turtles, the time one.
Oh,
That is a good one. I'll give you that.
So I have a lot of personal memories there. That Mario game, Mario Land, Super Mario.
Oh, Super Mario World?
Oh, there you go.
That one.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm not a really big Mario fan, but
But you're voting for Super Nintendo. You know, that memorable game, Super Mario Land on Super Nintendo.
It also has Super Punch Out, which I love.
oh yeah.
I never was a big fan of the Super for whatever reason.
Oh really?
The original, yes, but not so much Super.
Hmm.
I don't know why.
The DS has. I can't remember much about the DS.
What happened to that fish?
What I
Frank?
remember a lot is, well, you don't remember the important things. I mean, you don't
Like the DS, the important one who should win.
No, I forget the unimportant things.
Oh,
That's what I
unimportant.
meant to
Oh,
say.
okay, okay.
Excuse-moi. The only thing I can remember from the DS is the Mario Kart. I played that a lot. And Sudoku?
Got a fresh. That's how you have good memory, Frank, because it's Sudoku. Brain age, it helped you. DS.
But I don't hate this vote because I know for a fact that I played the DS more. I just don't remember what I played there.
I guess because why not? We could clean sweep here. For me, it's DS, obviously, because Professor Layton on there, Cookie Mama's on there, and also in general the idea that the stylus you could do different other inputs of play other than just a button mash button, but like you have to touch screens. You had to click on things, or the WarioWare Touch. It's like certain
are
games
good.
like you.
Ooh, Elite Beat Agents.
Oh, Elite Beat Agents.
Oh, I freaking love that. That's still I could still play that.
And of course, it has a Miles game in it. Of course, Love Plus.
Oh, the other one. I always get that confused. Sometimes was the weird Yuji Naka one? The Feel the Magic?
Feel the Magic XL, XY.
Yeah, that was weird DS things.
and
Nintendo was crazy.
and the Rub Rabbits.
That was the other one, right?
Yeah, but no, Love Plus was
Ace
on there.
Attorney, 999, and Advance Wars.
And I didn't have to really worry about region.
Oh, that's true.
It's bugging me now. Can you just quickly list off some DS games?
I mean, the ones I just said. They did the Fire Emblem 1 remake.
I didn't play that.
Super Jump Stars.
Oh, Super Jump Stars, all right there. Well, yeah, no,
I didn't play that.
That's an imported game, but that's a really great.
I had that
the
too,
Smash
the
Brothers clone.
shonen one.
That was
You could play as like Naruto.
Naruto and everyone else. It was so good.
I never
Say a
knew
Zelda.
sequel.
though.
Say a Zelda game. That was
Phantom Hourglass. That
I
was
didn't play-
good
That's the one that I didn't play.
With the on 3 and
on DS.
oh yeah, I guess it was on DS.
That was Phantom Hourglass and Train Tracks. But
Oh, you
Train
know
Tracks
what I
was
played
okay.
there? Tactics Advance.
Oh right, the tact, and then
Part
the final.
two.
They made the Final Fantasy like 1 and 2 and 3.
I don't think I played them there.
They had There's a couple Final Fantasies.
Oh,
exclusive-
three.
Chrono Trigger.
I didn't play that.
Chrono Trigger on the DS. Yeah, no, I'm happy with my DS choice.
Did you play Prime Hunters?
Oh, yes, I did.
Hunters,
Yes,
yeah.
I did. Yes, I
Yes,
did.
I was gonna say yes, you did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the second worst Metroid game.
Yeah, that was Federation Force.
Wait, what's the worst
Yeah.
one? Oh, is it?
Pinball.
Oh, wow.
And I played it.
I would say
I had
well, I haven't
pinball
played
too.
for-
I had Metroid Pinball.
I mean, is that
Wow.
really unlike Metroid Pinball's the official Metroid game?
That's freaking.
No, I
funny.
think still Federation Force is still probably the worst one.
Once again, is that even an official Metroid game?
Yeah,
Wait, which one?
Federation Force. It was.
I think it was on the
It
3DS.
was on 3DS. It was like, hey, we heard you want Metro Prime. Yeah, no, but here places
And look,
like.
it's Samus. She's in a cutscene. All
We-
right,
we
who
do
cares?
not-
Yeah, and you're playing as a
recognize
Federation
that.
soldier, doing Metro stuff but not being Samus.
It's terrible.
It was a weird pick.
Terrible read of the room.
And it's like of all, and then no, Metro Prime 3 has been or Metro has been talked about for years, and this is where you bring it. No,
Let's not think about the dark history.
Hmm.
All right, so we're in the second round now.
okay.
Let's try to speed it up a bit, and because I
All right.
want to really get into it once we're like in the final.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's a good
Terrible.
idea.
Let's do it.
All right.
So, first matchup, or should we go bottom up? Yeah, let's go bottom up because I think
All
the
right, you're
top.
the-
I think the top
you're,
ones.
you're the captain.
You're the captain now,
Yeah,
Frank.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I
Look
like
at me.
that idea.
Look at me.
I'm looking, Frank. I'm looking.
All right, so again, DS versus GBA, Game Boy.
Oh, well, tell you can play both.
Well, that's true. You could play GBA on the DS.
Are you allowed to
So then,
count that?
if we're counting it, then DS wins, right? Because it's
we are
GBA
counting hardware,
and
not
DS.
games.
So okay, so
Yeah,
whatever,
right.
are we agreeing? We're separating, or are we including GBA on the DS?
I guess if we put it that way, DS they both win on DS.
Right, the DS wins automatically. So are we separating the two, or are we allowing the GBA catalog?
I'll tell you right now.
You tell me,
so-
host.
Count it. But I'm gonna give all of you 15 seconds to answer.
DS then, if we're counting it.
DS.
Whoa, that was fast.
Yeah.
Not total, just each. All right, 2DS.
Yeah. Because DS can play GBA. It's
plays
a
GBA
it's a
games.
better console. It's because you can play everything.
Andy, any last hope for you?
I can't beat that. You can't beat that. It's unbeatable.
What I would say about the Game Boy Advance is that it was really pretty. I like the design.
The
Oh, yeah,
SP is beautiful. I love it. It's one of the best things Nintendo put out.
And then I like the when you turn it on and it's just like the colors would like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
that was cool. But I guess
Yeah.
it doesn't save it.
if we did include it, I might have argued for GBA instead. But if we're including it, then
Yeah,
DS.
I probably would have done the same.
Would you like to change your Wii both since we're including virtual consoles?
No, because I have those cartridges and I also have other ways to play those.
Well, see, yeah, there you go. I mean, then you could, but I mean,
And that's it. I
what's
guess all
done
day.
is done.
But you're the ref. We asked the ref, and the
That
ref
was-
counted. So
that
there
was-
you go.
That was a quick KO there.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
You wanted faster, Frank. We
We
delivered.
did it. We knocked
We
it
did
out.
it.
I'm happy you guys are a really good group here.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Alright,
coach.
Next matchup. This one's a tough one. Maybe.
All right.
Switch versus PS1.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with Switch.
Switch.
I was gonna say
Ooh.
Switch, yeah.
Quick. Ray, Miles.
But see, the problem is the Switch is not really done yet, right? And that's the thing.
When will it be?
But it's already done so many great things. How can it get any better?
Switch, just because the catalog. And I was never a big PlayStation 1 fan instead for Resident Evil.
Yeah, I guess Switch 2. The more thinking that way because they have more remakes.
Oh, so 3 for Switch?
3 for Switch.
Oh, okay.
Would you have said that?
Yes.
Checks out.
Yeah,
And Fire Emblem.
Because you could play. Technically, you could play Back
And
to
Student
Nature.
Advance Wars.
You can play Back to Nature because his friend's Mirror Challenge is on Switch, which basically is Back to Nature anyway.
True.
So that awful art design. Moving on.
Yeah, I think the one thing that would probably save PS1 was like the games that I played there, which were mostly the Final Fantasy games.
Right, which has also been ported over.
And that's what I was gonna say. You can play those all, I think, on the Switch too.
Yeah.
So that was an easy victory. Next matchup, 3DS versus NES. So, just try to convince you, this is an easy 3DS win for me. I have probably like 20 3DS games, and not that many Nintendo games.
I'm gonna vote NES again.
I do have a lot more 3DS games than NES games.
Yeah, because I do appreciate NES for what it did for the time stuff, right? But there are a lot more remakes, a lot more original games on the 3DS.
It's like when your grandpa's still working, you're like, we appreciate your grandpa, but it's time to go to a home.
I retired.
Oh my gosh.
Let the young guns take over. We're not gonna forget you. We promise.
They do have the Game Mega Man collection on the 3DS.
You can play. You can play some NES games on the 3DS.
Yeah, I'm voting for the 3DS.
Good.
I mean,
So
It's still got Awakening.
I'm still saying NES, but I think
okay, alright. I guess I can't like every decision you make.
clearly.
Miles, you have you voted?
Yeah, I said a 3DS.
All right.
Those are the right side of history. Those are the wrong side.
Noted.
Oh, whoa! I wrote it on the wrong one.
Oh no!
My bad. I got a little excited.
Wait,
there.
did you cross
You just
out?
took it to number one.
Did you cross out?
I crossed out 3DS by accident. Whoops.
And that was a landslide.
Search your feelings, Frank.
All right, so this is the reason why I wanted
Tapping
to
your
start
feet.
bottom up, because this matchup I think might be tougher for some of you guys. And it's N64 versus PS3.
Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
It's 3.
I don't know if I should mention this, but if PS3 loses, it's gonna be a all Nintendo semifinal.
That's a good point.
But not
Right, but yeah, I mean it's up to everyone.
I'm gonna say N64.
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
going 64. God damn it, I'm going 64.
really. I would have said PS3. Can I change
My
your mind?
first reaction was PS3.
Let me talk to you.
I'll be
Vic.
on Frank's side. I chose PS3 as well.
PS3. All right, convince. Go
Yeah,
ahead, Frank.
yeah,
Go
Marvel
ahead.
vs. Capcom 3.
Ooh.
That doesn't.
Region.
Ultimate
free
Marvel
game.
vs. Capcom.
Ooh, both versions. Shit.
Catherine.
I never was a big Catherine person. I tried so desperately to get into it. I
Not
never
a
could.
panties fan.
Yeah, I guess so. Just
Well,
was.
it's just
Didn't do enough for
the
me.
game.
How is that block floating in midair? It makes no sense.
Those
Yeah.
goats or their sheep? Or
Yeah,
what?
the sheep. They're all sheep, man.
Yeah, you don't
I
like
got
the
the
sheep?
collector's edition. I got that pillow.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Wait,
Yeah,
is it-
yeah.
Wait, is it like a how? What is it?
So what came with it? It was like it came like in a pizza box, which was cool, and it has that shirt that the guy wears, and it has a pillow with the Catherine on it. And what else does it have?
But it's not like a body pillow, right? It's just like a smaller pillow.
I think it's the cover for the body pillow.
Oh.
And I just I don't live alone, so I can't.
Shit.
It's like, who is this woman?
Uh,
So I didn't want to have that conversation with my parents.
Yeah, so
No,
you
no,
leave it in
no.
the
Fair
pizza
enough.
box.
And now I live with kids around, and it's like I don't really want to. So
That also makes
it's
sense.
still tucked in somewhere in there.
yeah.
Special
It's-
occasions.
It's right next to the porn.
No, that's online.
I got rid of those years ago.
So yeah, for me it's PS3. It's
Man, the
PS3.
PS3, because I thought about, well, that's PS2 and PS1. If we're talking about OG PS3.
I mean,
Are we counting that, Judge? Are we counting that?
Are we counting what?
PS2 and PS1 backwards?
Yes, we are. I mean, for me, 64 should have lost in the first round, so I don't even know how they got here.
And there's no other PS2 and PS1's dead, right?
Yeah, PS2.
Yeah,
died.
they're all-
PS2 died.
You guys voted.
I take it back. PS3.
All right.
PS3.
The sales wrong.
What the demon me the PS3 is that I play a lot of games that I play now, like all the after games I probably should play on the PS3. I could play backward Japanese games easily because it's region free. Overall, NFL Advanced 13's on there. The first one.
I heard NFL. I'm like, what? But yeah, I was gonna say that one too.
Yeah.
Best Madden.
The best Madden is on the PS3. That's why you all picked.
Duh.
Yeah. Obviously.
Was it on the
right?
64? That was the worst Madden.
Actually, I did play Madden 98 on 64, and I did enjoy that.
It was
for the
actually
very
alright.
brief time
We
that I
had Blitz.
did when I
We
was
also had
Blitz.
kid.
Blitz
was cool. Actually,
Blitz was fun.
Yeah,
Blitz was quick. They'll never happen ever again.
yeah,
Not so much.
Those are so fun.
Simpler times.
Yeah. So yes.
Good job,
PS3
guys. Good
won.
PS3
job.
won.
All right.
We're not dead. We're not dead.
We're still alive. It's
There's if I'll fight, it won't come in hot at the end. The
There it is.
we can't be judge of nepotism now. All right, we're in the semis, guys.
Oh
All
boy.
right.
I'm gonna start bottom down, from the bottom up, because I don't want to get rid of PS3. So
we're gonna hold on to the hope for the rest of the bucket.
because,
Don't you die on me! Don't you die on me!
I mean, I don't know how PS4 lost me. All right, so next matchup. Ooh, this is gonna be another Nintendo matchup. Switch versus DS.
OGDS.
OGDS. The other side of the semifinal is PS3 versus 3DS.
Ooh.
All right,
if
but
we're-
we'll start with Switch and DS. I mean,
I'm
Yeah.
gonna. All right, you.
Someone goes.
So
I've
who's
gone
brave
for
enough?
somebody.
Who's
well,
brave
well.
enough?
I guess
I keep on going first.
I didn't think you guys were gonna think about this
I
so
think
much.
it's, for me, the Switch.
Yes,
the Switch.
I agree.
Because the 3DS is on the other side, and the 3DS can play DS games. So.
I'm gonna allow you to bring a guest to my wedding now.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Well, to me, is though the DS is innovative for its time, I think the Switch had probably better games at this point now, and of course even more what's ever coming out later down the pipeline. So yeah, I say Switch.
Switch. Yes to Switch because
Yes. Yes, the Switch.
I feel like it's sort of reinvigorated video games in a way, like in terms of how accessibility and now that's a trend with Steam Deck and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that whole concept is
mean, on the go.
Nintendo kind of, they're still good at what they do. They know how to make things that people want to do.
And I think with Switch now, is that they realize like there's not much power in this thing, so we're gonna release the old games on here, and you'll come back to it anyway.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. They know what they're doing with it. I don't know. I think, yeah, I gotta say Switch.
All right, I have things to say about the Switch, but I'll save it for the final.
all right.
The next semifinal is PS3, and 3DS.
3DS. So that's 3DS and DS versus PS3, PS2, PS1. Basically.
I want PS3 to make it to the final, just so it's not all Nintendo. But for me,
You are the judge.
Well, I've tried, and you guys don't listen. Only somehow I managed to convince Ray to change to PS3, but I tried every round. And
Not Awakening, though. Can I live without Awakening? This is the real question I feel like I'm asking myself.
The question is,
I'll go first. I'm going to say PS3. And I'm not saying it just so there's a PS3 in the final. I genuinely think, yes. I don't know. PS just a really good. It's for all I've been voting against it, PS3 is a really good console. It's legit.
I know
It's solid. It's solid. It's great. It's
I'm
I don't know.
disappointed in you. You voted against PS3.
All the time. And now you are.
every time I think I voted against it, right?
Now
But
you
now
change.
I'm fuck
Turn
yeah.
cool.
I'm go in PS3.
Let's go.
You bandwagon fan.
Turns his shirts inside out of there.
Now
And that's for the other team.
Now that they're in the semifinals, I'm oh no, I like them the whole time,
Blu-ray
guys.
all the way. Woo!
All right. I penciled it in.
Oh my god.
Miles, you got something for us?
For me, it'll probably be the PS3 as well.
Wow.
Oh.
Because region free on the 3DS is a pain in the ass. I did a lot to get New Love Plus to work. No, that was a pain.
I don't mean to laugh, but
And also the PS3 had more games, I guess, that got into other genres than because 3DS, a lot of games I played are before, right? I guess a lot of sequels, things like that, Metroid and other, or games that I played before in a newer, shinier
That's true. That's a good point.
package. Well, like the PS3 has more original titles that I never would have known unless I played a PS3.
That's a good point. I never really thought about that. Hundo P.
for me, these two are like, it's hard to choose because I don't want to be without either one. Like,
How romantic.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna throw it away because now I have a PS3.
Yeah, yeah.
And with with other stuff, like, you can get rid of your GBA, and that's why it lost, because you have a DS. It's just better version of but you can't say, oh, I'm gonna get rid of the DS because I could just play it on the PS3. You can't. So there's just, I would have, if I had to choose, if I have to choose my favorite child and give that one the inheritance, it's gonna be for me 3DS.
3DS, huh?
I know my vote doesn't count, but 3DS is just, I had a lot of good times. We had a lot of good dates and stuff.
For me, I thought about it long and hard, and my vote is going to be PS3 because it's 3 generations. If we're talking about OG PS3, that's a lot of games. The thing, like, to me, it's like I love Fire Emblem, so like that's why In Awakening is my favorite one. So it's on the 3DS, but it's like Mega Man, Kingdom Hearts, Devil May Cry, if we're including all those games, the Uncharted series, like Cooper. There's just so many other great games that it's a lot. The Resident Evil 1 and 2 are some of my favorite games of all time. That's only on the original PlayStation, which backwards compatible. And Blu-rays. I gotta watch my Blu-rays on my PS3, so I guess it has to win despite skipping out Awakening hurts my soul a little bit, won't lie.
Don't worry, they'll re-release it on the Switch.
I'll feel better when they do. I'll feel much better when they do.
Wow, you guys all went against me. All right, we're in the finals. We made it.
We did it.
And now this is where you can really say what you think about the game. Go
I hate you, Frank. I mean, all the games. I mean, I love the PS3.
Go ham, like, on it. All right, so, wow, I'm glad it's not an all Nintendo final.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this seems fitting. PS3 versus Switch is kind of interesting.
PS3 versus
Kind of
Switch.
good I didn't have votes because it would have been an all Nintendo final.
That's true.
The battle of the backwards compatibility. Because what hasn't been ported to the Switch at this point?
I feel like they're very similar. Both of them.
Wind Waker.
Kind of, yeah. I think so
Wind
too.
Waker.
That's also on the PS3.
Yeah, but that's the same thing.
Nintendo, once again, wink, wink.
This is like, I feel, I'll just say a few words about both and then you guys can vote. I feel the Switch is like, Nintendo got all their experience from all the games and consoles they've made, and they're just like, oh, got it right. Because I remember especially with the Wii U, there was just like a lot of negative energy around Nintendo. It's like, will this survive? With the Wii, had the same thing. It was more popular, but they still was kind of like, I mean, I think it was
What about the hardcore gamers?
It was very, I mean, I loved it, but I remember, I think the love was not local.
True.
It was like, oh, a Wii? Why don't you have a, Xbox?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for sure.
And then just the Switch just like brought it all back. It's like, whoa, this is like the most convenient. It looks good. It kind of, there's just, I feel like there's a ton of games that like people are always making games on that.
It's like so unique but without like doing any gimmicks like what like Nintendo had been doing. Like with the Wii, it's like, look at what it can do. But I feel like the Switch just like, I don't know, like they like took the hardware, so they knew what they were doing with the hardware, and they made like amazing games with it. But they weren't like,
they took
know.
what everybody loves about Nintendo and like, you know what, this is what works, and we're just gonna go all in on that.
Yeah, that's true.
They did what NES, they brought it back, brought sexy back,
Brought it back.
They did it again. And the PS3, I feel it's the same thing because that's the one where you can still play PS2 and PS1 games. So it's kind of like their version of the Switch. And then they went to the dark side where like, no, now you can't.
Yeah, but I feel like it is sort of like, I mean, you could say that about like a lot of, I guess Nintendo kind of took some steps forwards, back and forward, but it's like PlayStation was always kind of going forward, and I feel like it was just like a sign of like, oh, they just really knew what they were doing, and that was like very, I guess, yeah, it's similar to the Switch almost in a way. I don't know if you agree or.
I think this comes down to two things. Well, for me, Switch is my choice. One, I like the games better there. I know there's some games there are a lot of games I can't play that are exclusive to PlayStation. So it just comes down what kind of games you like more.
Yeah,
but
true.
if you say I like both sides of the games equally, then for me still Switch wins because you can take the Switch outside.
Yeah,
True. Like
yeah.
I would have had my Switch with me on, but I kind of just forgot because I was watching the Alabama game. So I mean,
That's true.
I'm addicted to it. Like, and now you can vote.
I will say it took me a while because I just previously I've been saying about the PS3 with all the backwards compatibility. That's a lot of catalog. I mentioned earlier the Switch has a lot of games. They put it on the Switch, and honestly, if it wasn't before this year and like a few months ago, like the last month or two ago, I probably would have said PS3. But because of recent events, my vote's gonna go for the Switch. And the biggest reason is, and the biggest reason why I would switch my vote is the portability, because I never really used my Switch portably until recently, when it's like I don't have much free time, but recently I've been taking my Switch to me with work so I can play Fire Emblem Engage, great game, on the go during my lunch break, and it's like that's been like my little haven is I sneak off and play that for about an hour or so.
Where do you sneak off to?
My car, basically.
Oh.
It's not
it's not pretty. It's not. No.
It works. It does the job. But yeah, and playing it on the OLED screen, it's nice and pretty and bright, and having that portability. And I recommend the replacement Joy-Cons,
The Pro controller.
Pro
right?
controller, what they call it, because it's way better on the handheld.
It's on my wish list, but they're like pretty expensive right now.
Yeah, so I've been rocking that and having that, and then all the Switch games, Breath of the Wild. We have the Mario All-Star Collection someone mentioned earlier, so all the Marios are there, and I'm not the biggest Mario that. My Sonics are there, my Mega Mans are there. And then if you really know how to hack a Switch, if you have an OG Switch, it's easy and you can have all your old school games on it to go. So when you throw in that factor and the portability factor, it's a lot easier to take a Switch with you on the go than a PS3.
All right. One right vote.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to say a whole lot else that you guys aren't already saying, but like, yeah, it's just like, yeah, they just like, I mean, you said it so succinctly. Like, yeah, like this is like everything we like about Nintendo. Do it. I mean, they still do shitty things like, oh, like you gotta pay extra for this, but they're doing it.
At least
just
it's
like,
available.
And you go, sure, yes.
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
like, they're like tapping into like a weird like, because it's like they could have just let you keep the virtual console games forever somehow, but they didn't. But still, like the way that they're doing. The way that they're like selling and promoting their games is very, I don't know, they're good at it.
That they are.
And I'm excited about all the stuff they're adding to the Switch, but I don't know, the PS3 is still really good. Like I feel like that was, yeah, when I feel like there was like so many things coming out at a time. It was like Uncharted, like Uncharted 2, Assassin's Creed, like Brotherhood, and then it was just like Bioshock. It's just like boom, 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 boom. It was just like there was like never not like something really crazy coming out that wasn't like. I mean, I know they were like maybe Assassin's Creed sequels, but they were like new properties at the time. Like they were still like Bioshock was like a new thing, even though it was like I mean, I don't want to get into the history of Bioshock,
Right. It was a little late to the party, but it worked.
Yeah,
it's still a good game.
Yeah, it was just original.
I still need to meet Big Daddy.
Need to see.
I'm playing that now. That's and I was gonna say that at the end. I was
With
like
your big drill.
my big drill. Yes.
Well,
all right. But, now with that out of the way, I would say the Switch as well. The reason Switch means a lot of games I used to play on the PS3 got deluxe editions on the Switch. Like all like the Attila games are on there. Also, the new ones. There's a new Professor Layton coming out. But generally to me, I kind of like the Switch more because a lot of old games are coming back on there. You know, like they have a lot of what they call arcade archives, which you could play like Moon Patrol, Burger Time, OG Donkey Kong, like but they're all the arcade ports. It's a way. No, you could play it. No, I see the Switch more as like a retro console to me now. Like hey, if there's a game I want that's probably old school game, it'll probably be on the Switch because there'll be some like the Capcom collection, arcade collection, or like the Canola games. They just came back on the Switch a couple months ago. But so me for that reason, the PS3 does have. I do have fond memories of PS3, but a lot of the games eventually, to me the Switch has a more value for that at this moment. Until it proves otherwise.
Oh, wow. A sweep in the final.
Apparently.
Good
Wow.
job, Switch.
Well,
That says a lot about that says a lot about because we've been playing games for a long time. I feel like that says a lot about the Switch. 'cause
Talking about
we've had-
Switch is my first game console. I'm young and hip, you old people.
well, the thing is that the Switch kind of does everything for all of us, right? It does there's new games for new kids. It has old games for us. But overall, it's remarkable. You could. But
I still play new games sometimes.
I'm cool too.
It does portability because no console does other than the Steam Deck at this point now,
Which is borrowing from the
Yeah,
Switch.
basically.
yeah, it's basically the Switch.
Yeah.
But the idea it brought portability back. Hey, I could go outside, I could play with my friends. A lot of things they're showing games.
Friends.
Like, and they're like the one that got to me was like the Super Mario Party. It would just show later, so like you connect two consoles together with the game.
Oh,
and you
I
can
forgot
make,
about
that's a
that.
thing.
and you can make a big giant thing out of it. There's a lot of things. Nintendo's seen a lot of things you can do with that hardware if they they allow to. They
And
extend.
they upgraded, perhaps.
Yeah, if they upgrade, you could. Imagine like you could play like multiple Switches together and make a big giant layout, right, or something like that.
That'd be pretty cool.
There's a lot of chances for. There are opportunistic chances they have more.
I am happy with the winner.
I agree.
I was quick question.
Hmm.
If Switch 2 comes out, is it gonna be called Switch 2?
Oh God, I hope not.
No, it's going to be called the new Switch, and we're all going to hate it.
Oh shit! It definitely is, isn't it?
The new Switch?
The new Switch. I would almost put money on that.
Like I think the new 3DS.
What about the
3DS?
Super Nintendo Switch?
Oh my god.
Super Nintendo, Super Switch,
Super Switch.
Super
Super
Switch.
Switch.
I
Switch
don't
U?
see. Switch.
Switch me.
Switch you too.
Wish.
Switch.
Wow. Yeah. They
Why?
would
'Cause
do
we just-
something quirky like
'cause
that
we
though.
just
They
don't-
would.
Wait, why is the Switch called Switch?
Because you can switch between the modes.
Yeah,
that it?
like I think it's because you can
That
like.
would be my
I'm gonna
guess.
switch to like this mode. I'm gonna switch back.
And that's
to...
why they have that sound like
Yeah, the click click.
Yeah, because
The Joy-Cons?
Because it's snap in the idea is like I can play this on the go, and I can, and then if
then
I
I'm
say
gonna
my,
Hang with all your favorite white rooftop homies.
What do you think? What...
Are you thinking of the commercials?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. For those who remember the original Switch commercial,
Oh my god.
I will now be my sad, lonely self, and now I will hang out with my cool friends on the rooftop.
Remember 3-2-1 Switch? That was such a dumb. That was such a
It-
or
it
whatever.
was-
1-2
it-
Switch.
it
1-2
was
Switch.
They thought it was like, oh, this is the Wii Sports for this gen. Oh,
It was
Jesus, it was
stupid.
not good at all. It
Can't
was
believe
so
it.
bad.
That felt like a bad third party
And they
game, not
charged
some.
full price.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Did you ever play it?
$20-$30.
Did you-
So bad.
Did you ever play that?
What?
1-2 Switch?
No.
Yeah, don't.
You made the right choice,
Oh
Frank.
my god.
It was.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
this was fun. This was when this idea was thrown around. I was like, I was like, a March Madness bracket. Like, what are they gonna fight each other? I don't get it.
Duke it out.
This is. Where's the ball? Who's gonna score?
Where's the ball?
I think we're all defined to it was like the 3DS and the what is it? No, it was the 3DS
PS1?
and
I don't
yeah,
remember.
the PS1. And we were all waiting there for a second, like
And now it's when I want to ask you guys, what you've been playing lately, and what are you planning on playing until next we meet?
Not
Not with you. I'm gonna start with Miles.
All right, fine then. I don't want. You know what? I didn't want to tell you anyway. All right.
It's because I think we have a similar answer, and that's why I want to leave you for last.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Let's see. What I've been playing right now is playing. Oddly enough, before the Metro Prime remasters were going on, I was playing all the Metro Primes right now. Through I guess enhanced methods. Let's say.
It's called emulation.
Let me cut you off.
Is that a filthy where we own these games?
I love the enhanced methods. Like it's like paraphernalia. Like,
Nintendo, Miyamoto, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
He's gone rogue.
Well,
He's gone rogue.
Because technically I'm playing.
I don't know this man.
You're pounding on the door.
He's here. Who knows?
Well, because to me, I just recently found a way to to kind of get to make copies of our games on the PC, or so I've been trying to play using the Dolphin Train because they have a lot of different textures, a lot of things you could do to enhance the gaming play experience. And so with and I've been playing around a bit here and there. Still playing Metro Prime 3, no matter what, to make it pretty or whatever, it's still kind of a slog.
Yeah, I never touched that one. I stopped after Echo.
Because every time the certain Skyward Sword felt this way too. Is that it's when you had time. It's Wii remote time. You have a Wii remote. Let's pull the Wii remote backwards. Let's turn it to the side. And again, if you have the Wii remote, obviously when you're playing the first time, like, oh, that's neat, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're kind of like, man, you can't. You gotta figure. Because me try and map the whole damn darn controller to because I had right now I'm using a PS4 controller right now somehow with another method.
Can I ask you something about Prime?
Yep.
Besides the control gameplay part, is that what bugs you, or is something else that bugs you about it?
No, Prime 3, yeah. Prime 3 is just it's Prime 3 because obviously not true Prime 1 and 2 because we've been through 1 and 2 already.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's change it up. Let's have they make the ship a thing for some reason.
Yeah. I was gonna say that the control thing didn't bug me. I like it. But what bugged me is like now we're hopping planets. It kind of made sense because like, oh yeah, she has a ship and actually use it. But at the same time, it felt weird. But
it was weird also when like the ship could do things like you have to worry about ship's missiles.
Oh, interesting.
And,
all right.
And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I need to blow this item up. Oh wait, I don't have any ship missiles. I have all of my missiles, but I don't have any ship missiles. And and then obviously the whole corruption thing and try add the.
That's what bugged me.
Literally, what they call the phase-on enhanced devices or PEDs. I think it's hilarious. The more you think about it, and then you sacrifice your literally your life to get enhanced, but you have to keep going because if it turns red, then you literally could die in that instant. And it's like, who designed this game? It's this very Metro Prime. It was a very interesting game. I'm kind of curious what we're gonna do with 4 now because we obviously can't do that again.
I just didn't like that they kind of took away the suits, and they just made it like now you're more corrupted. And it's like, I guess, but it wasn't a big enough change for me.
And the problem though, because obviously 1 and 2 did. 1's pretty classic. 2's almost probably a little bit better than 1. But it's like how you can do it again for the 3rd game, right? We gotta. Kind of like Breath of the Wild way. We got to change it up. We got to change the formula, but I don't think it worked out. But there's that. So I'm probably playing that a little bit more. And eventually I'm trying to get eventually I'm going to try to get to play the Wii version of Harvest Moon, the Tree of Tranquility. Eventually, that's my goal.
That's your goal for until next we meet?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There it is.
All right, Idol Masters might be a little sad about that. Andy, what's on your plate?
I was playing Phoenix here and there. I was just kind of like, I guess I sort of lost interest. Not that I was like, I'm like,
all right, well, it was great having Andy on the podcast,
not
everyone.
that I'm done with it, but like I go.
Well, I'm done with you.
No, I go through phases with video games. Like even if I because I did this with BioShock. I started playing BioShock like maybe like a year, like when it first came out, and I never finished it. I got to like the first like hour and I stopped, and then I started playing other games, and then I got to Phoenix Wright. And then we had the conversation last week about like favorite games, and I had BioShock on my list, and I thought about it. I'm like, I never finished it. Like when I started like talking it because I put it in my list, and I never.
Wait, you've never finished BioShock?
No, I never finished it since I added it to the Switch, even though I started playing it.
Oh.
Yeah, so then I was like, why don't I just finish it? So I'm pausing Phoenix Wright, and I'm playing it now, and I'm realizing that I am very committed to having it on my list still. Wanted to
Okay.
put that out there.
So we don't have to pull down the episode for you.
No, you can leave it up. You can leave it up. I still love BioShock. I still think it's one of my favorite games.
Well, dubbing Andy in this changes the answer, right?
Yeah. Phoenix Wright.
It is still Phoenix Wright. No, and then when I'm done with it, I'll probably play Phoenix Wright again like tomorrow. Honestly, like I still want to play through it. I'm just slowly playing through it. I'm enjoying myself. I just got that director lady. Found out
second, third case.
I think it's third or fourth.
I want to say third.
I think it is third. But yeah, she got found it out. So I'm playing it. But and then so we'll probably do that. And then I really want to play Prime. Ever since it came out, I'm just like, that's all I can think about. I swear. Like you guys talking about Prime, I'm like, fuck, I want to play it so bad. And I'm worried I'm gonna fall off for the fucking BioShock, and I won't beat BioShock. Anyway,
it's okay. We had BioShock at its time.
Yeah,
but I'm really enjoying it right now.
Yeah,
so that's where I'm at with that.
Can't wait for
Get lost in the sea.
Judas, the totally not BioShock game.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
It like sure I'll play it, but yeah, it's just like really all these years and you just did BioShock again.
You haven't learned your lesson, yes, huh?
I guess. Sure, I'll play it. Whatever.
But I did want to mention. Okay, this is kind of this is kind of in the what have you been watching thing. So I watched. Do you guys know the movie Tar?
No.
It's a movie. It's got Cate Blanchett. It's basically like a psychological drama. She's a conductor, but she also has like a really dark past. It looks like a super pretentious movie, and it kind of is. But it's actually really psychological and trippy, and it's almost like a David Lynch movie in a way. But that all to say, I really liked it, and I think I want anyone to watch it. But there is a very interesting, I would almost argue, like a twist or like reveal in the story that's based on a very popular modern video game that I like didn't catch I was like watching the movie, and then the movie ended, and I was like, oh, what was that thing? And I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, that's modern current franchise thing.
Aww.
And I was like, that's so weird that this isn't, and it's like a very like.
Where could I watch this?
It's on Peacock, if you have Peacock.
I think my brother has it.
So yeah, it's super long. It's like 2.5 hours, and I swear to God, if you watch like 20 minutes of it, you'll be like, this, like, not to say like any of you would think it, but I feel like a lot of people wouldn't watch it because they'd be like, this is fucking boring. Like, what the fuck is this?
Like T-A-R?
Yeah, T-A-X-N-R. It's kind of like intentionally pretentious because she's like an orchestrator and she's like living in New York, and she's
it
like,
sounds like it.
She's like very like, oh, like blah blah blah, you know, like it's a very very kind of pretentious movie.
Have you seen the movie The Menu?
No, but I kind of want to. Is that good?
I liked it, yeah. But
is it tasty? Is it tastier than our menu?
Yeah, they have tacos.
Coming soon. As soon as we can figure to put it on the Apple Podcast app, we'll get it there.
We should actually like get some tacos.
That sounds about a bad idea.
One day.
But yeah, I mean I almost want to like tell you guys if you don't want to see it, but I don't want.
No,
like,
I'll watch it.
I'll watch it.
But it's like it's super deep into the movie,
Don't
and
worry,
like I did
Andy.
not catch it at all.
Most likely Ray will like it too. That's usually what
I
happens.
don't know. I feel like you.
I don't know. It depends.
He's a hater.
No, because we sometimes surprisingly have the exact same interests.
That's
in
why
things.
I'm curious now, because if he says it, then let's do it.
I mean,
see what happens.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
like-
that why you always vote what he was voting?
No, I swear to God, it's like a phenomena where
Pretty much.
I'm like, oh yeah, I felt this way about it. You're like, I did too.
Pretty much.
See, it's called a mind leak. See, when
Uh-huh.
two minds come together, that's when like.
So we're finding for us in a Stranger Things thing will be all right. We know how to beat the big final boss.
That's true.
I don't know.
I want to talk about it, but I don't want to
No,
spoil the
don't.
movie. I know. I won't.
We'll save it. We'll try
Just
to make
know
a thing for
it's
it.
a very hoity-toity movie, but it gets very twisty and creepy. That's all I'll say.
Okay. And Mom, no, Miles already went.
I ever went.
Yeah, you.
Ray.
It's my turn to shine. So for the thing I've been playing, there's only one thing I've been watching and playing. Really have no time. Well, I watched a little anime, but I'll save it for next week because hopefully I'll get a chance to finish that so I can actually really talk about it. But the one thing I really want to talk about this week for a little bit, I try won't go too long, is Fire Emblem Engage. I hinted at it early in the episode. And I bought it day one. Been pretty much playing it since day one, little by little. Sometimes if I get to sit down, but little, like I said earlier, during my lunch break, it's been like my guaranteed time to play it. So I've been playing little by little. And I said it like 10,000 times this podcast. Fire Emblem, big fan Fire Emblem. Very excited about it. Enjoyed Three Houses so much, was the previous game before this on the Switch. And Engage was kind of back to form to OG Fire Emblem, which I enjoyed because I'm one of the people that enjoyed Fire Emblem before Awakening. I talk about Awakening all the time, but I enjoyed Fire Emblem when it was Fire Emblem before, and then Sacred Stones on the GBA. So anyway, Engage. So the triangle factor, the rock paper scissors system of sword, lance, axe is back, which I enjoy quite a bit. There's a couple new mechanics where I want to say there's like the fighting thing. I was a new thing. Maybe Frank can remind me if that's a new point or not. But I want to say the fighting class is new, that it breaks the magic users. I thought that was interesting, that I don't remember if it was in previous Fire Emblem games. I like the fan service of having the emblems in this game, because the emblems are like
service.
Because it basically is fan service. So in most of the Fire Emblem games, the Fire Emblem is like the thing, they have to collect all these things to make the super magical thing to defeat the evil dragon. There's usually an evil dragon they got to defeat. Think of Ganondorf, but make it a dragon. That's like a lot of Fire Emblem stories. But in this game, all the emblems of these magical stones or whatever, they're actually characters from previous Fire Emblem games, and they kind of have like, it's kind of a little weird. They kind of like their souls in the ring, so you can actually communicate with like Marth and Roy and Byleth and everyone else who's pretty much come out in the previous game, including games that have never been come out in the West, which is a little weird, to be honest. So hopefully you're a fan of Fire Emblem Heroes, because they kind of explain those characters a little bit more in detail there. So a lot of fan service there in that regard. Like, oh, is that cool? And the neat thing is a lot of the customization. So you would think maybe, oh, well, Ike uses a big sword in Brawl, so you can only use by sword users in the game. But no, you can equip him with pretty much any class, any character. And so there's like a lot of customizations. But the game also hints at you like, oh, if you use it with this character, you get like a bonus effect. So it's like customization up to you as the player. Like, oh, which way do I want to go with this character? Do I want to like boost up their stats? Do I want to even them out? Do I want to change the class? Which is another thing you can do. You can change the classes a lot easier than versus in Three Houses where you had to get certain skills. So yeah, it's a lot of customization, I enjoy quite a bit. The downside, I feel like with Engage for me, like a game, because I always tend to, like, when I talk about the negative things, it sounds like I speak louder or people hear me more versus when I talk about praise. But I guess the negative thing I would say about Engage in general is like a lot of mechanics from Three Houses made it into this game, but it almost makes no sense why they made it into the game. They just kept them in it because, oh, it was in Three Houses and people like Three Houses, so we'll throw this mechanic. Like the fishing mechanic makes no sense. That's just there for giggles. And you did that in Three Houses so you could get XP, so then you could teach and do more thing in the time management system. But the time management thing no longer exists in this game, really. There's like the cooking thing, which is inconsistent, where people would cook food for you so you could level up their social links. But then sometimes, unless you know the character sucks at cooking, you'll just lose that time, which I hate that. I hate wasting time. So like there's that like little bit of time management that's still left over from Three Houses in there. It makes no sense. Like little activities that's around the hub world that you can do and interact with the other characters, I just find a little pointless per se. And then the other thing is just there's too many characters in this game, or there's too many uninteresting characters in this game. So like I find myself not interested in trying to pursue dialogue choices with the main protagonist or other characters mingling with each other, which has been a thing since Awakening. So I just think engaging some editing. They need to focus down and being like, what do we want this game to be? Because like they're trying to please like the new fans of Three Houses and Awakening, but also trying to make old school fans of the previous games happy too. But it at the end of the day, it's a little clunky, but it does make everyone happy because you could do the classic mode with permanent death. If they die, they're dead in the campaign. But you could also cheat, and you can have like, if you put on normal, there's like the time travel mechanic, which I think was in Three Houses and maybe previous ones. So if you ever make one bad mistake, you just go back one step versus doing the whole map all over again. So it's very good to allow, it's like I said, it's a weird balance, but at the end of the day, both old school and new people into the series could get into it. It runs way better than the Three Houses was just an ugly game and ran terribly
That's
frame
why
rate
the Switch
wise.
2 will run a lot better.
Yeah, so that'd be great if we ever backwards compatibility there. But yeah, it runs better, looks better. So yeah, I Fire Emblem fan. I'm happy with it. I look for it. I'm on the last map of Fire Emblem Engage. So if you're nervous about Fire Emblem fans, it's okay. It'll be a good time. I guarantee. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So that's my 2 cents.
You
on
want me
Fire
to say
Emblem.
my thoughts on it? or you
Shout
wanna
out
keep-
to
I wrote down a couple of things.
Got your notes.
Student.
Student. Always the student.
The microphone is blocking me. All right, so you said that it's back to OG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do have that feeling. I remember really liking Three Houses, and I heard some complaints when it first came out, and I'm like, I don't see it. And now that I'm playing this, I'm like, oh wait, this is like more like Awakening or the older ones. I'm like, I forgot that that Fire Emblem was like this.
Right.
And then one thing that he talked about, what I've heard, that it's mostly focused on the gameplay and not so much story. Well, I feel like there's a lot of story in this one.
There is actually.
So I'm like, they lied.
Yeah, true.
And then I think another thing was that they didn't like the visuals. Like, oh, they look weird. They're like so bright. And then why is it red and blue? It kind of.
Oh, the character
Yeah.
design.
So, but I'm liking it. Besides the opening, that's kind of like, I'm like,
I'm not a fan of the setup. You have amnesia. Oh God.
Again?
no, I mean the opening song.
Oh, the song's kind of that's even. I would argue that's even worse than the character design.
I like the opening for Three Houses more, where it was kind of like a serious.
Yeah.
And then you could hear the heartbeat. But I just remember Three Houses. Like, I think going back and I have to do this again, and like I've already talked to you guys. I hope they don't do that for this one. But I don't know yet. I haven't finished it. When you were saying if about the fighting, I don't remember there being fighting before Three Houses, and I don't remember there being a break before. Maybe I just have bad memory.
Fighting?
Yeah, because you said that if you don't remember if fighting breaks tomes.
Oh, right. The fighting class. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember there being a fighting class before the.
I remember
Three
them.
Houses.
I want to say Fates had the ninjas, right?
But they had knives.
Right, they had the little knives, which I'm
kinda-
trying to remember it because
I don't. I mean,
they existed, but I don't think they didn't. They were just there. They're like the weird class.
I think the only fighting has been in Three Houses, and they had those stupid huge gloves that were like.
Oh yeah, the big silly. Yeah. The boxy, like really cartoony gloves. Yeah, they were so silly.
The rings. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about the gameplay, but the rings. The funny part for me is like when you're cleaning them. and
Oh,
like,
the see, like silly mechanics like that, where you like it's very anime. The polishing, where literally it's just like you hang out and someone polishes the ring of like Marth or whoever, and it's like, ooh, good job. And it's just like
get in there.
yeah,
more.
and it's like, oh
More.
yeah, I like that spot. It's just like, what the weird, like it's Japanese weird finish that I know exists and is in like in a lot of Japanese games. I'm sure Miles is familiar with.
Yeah.
Let me try to.
Unfortunately, yes.
And then the wake up sequences where they have little, oh, Divine Dragon, you look so good this morning. It's just like, what the beep is happening right now? Very Japanese things only.
I like
Wow.
how they. I remember one of those scenes. They were like that exactly thing happened. It's like, oh, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, maybe if I sleep next to you all the
Yeah,
time.
that's like
Wow.
kind of weird, slightly
What the hell?
fetishy.
And then she was
things.
like, no. And then, it got shut down. I'm like, good. She's the sensible person
Yeah.
here.
Just
Wow.
kind of weird.
Wait,
They're hoping you really are into these characters.
yeah, it sometimes sometimes developers certain games they just add like these weird
The
touch
skinship or whatever they call it.
yeah, skinship, whatever, and it's like I don't know, it's because us as a Western audience kind of like going, oh, what the heck is this, or it's just like if you feel kind of to me, I always feel kind of like icky when I do those moments because it's always like obviously I shouldn't really this is this scenario will not happen in real life, right?
Yeah.
You get arrested if you do this.
Yeah. And some people have.
Yeah.
But it's weird as a game mechanic to have like you have to touch certain girls. Certain why?
Wow, I did not know that was.
I
in
think
Fire
it was
Emblem.
worse before.
And I think it was also in Fates, I want to
And
say.
that one was-
well, they edited down the Western version.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah, but it was because I totally avoided that. And the only reason I bothered a little bit more in this game is because there's actually maybe there was more conversation, but there's like little cutscene conversations what actually will imply to other conversations you have during the social links, which I'm like, oh, I guess that's kind of neat, but also it's just a very weird sequence. It's more weird than like, oh, cool, there's like callback to the previous scene. So
I think all those stuff that you said there are kind of useless because I play around my nephew and niece a lot, and she loves all of those parts. She's like,
Oh,
let's go
little thing.
fishing, or like go talk to this one, or clean your rings and stuff like that. It's like, I want to go fight. Go talk to your little dog. change his clothes. She loves all.
oh right, the little
that's
the little
cute.
dog who's just kind of there.
That's funny.
And then she was like, I because you pet it or you feed it, and then like some crystals pop out. It's like, did he just poop?
Oh yeah, right. That happens.
Just to finish up about my thoughts on Fire Emblem, I feel like it's less complicated, and I love that about it. Because in Three Houses,
There's a lot.
anybody could be anything, and it's like you had to pick what they're gonna study. And then it's like I had to look up what I needed to be what the class I
Some
wanted.
stats look up, right?
It was just too much.
It
And in
definitely
this
can
one,
be.
I mean, I know you can change class later on because I read about it, but right now it's like everybody's their own class. If you want this, pick this character because this character does this and it has a unique ability.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, you don't need to worry about your weapon breaking. It's just so I'm like, oh, thank you. I can just
That's true. Yeah, that's a big change.
I can just focus on, killing these monsters, figuring out what team to set up, and that's it. I love that about it. Like it's simple but yet still not easy.
Yeah.
You guys make me want to play it now. Dang.
You should play
You
it.
should.
I know eventually because Ray always told me to play Fire Awakening because that did like as he calls baby mode for us people who are not used to Fire Emblem.
But Awakening is hard.
Well, the casual mode exists in
'Cause-
Awakening.
But even like because I didn't play it in the hardest mode, Awakening,
Mhm.
and I thought it was hard.
Well, I mean, it's hard, but because the two games before that is the Advanced War, GBA games, and neither one has casual mode.
Oh.
And yeah.
Yeah, because right now I'm playing on Maddening and I'm getting through it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, well, I'm talking about like normal mode because I feel we're talking. Well, yeah, because that's like a
it's
difference.
because I mean,
Yeah, how about us newbies? The one's like, I don't know about this whole class system and things like that. It's,
what I would say, because if you're looking for like the best story, go Awakening.
mhm.
Also true.
But if you're going to like what's easier to get into, like difficulty and all that, I would say either go with this one or go with Fates, because Fates is much easier than Awakening. I don't know, maybe because you're just like a veteran and you didn't notice it, but Fates is way easier than.
No, it definitely is for sure. That's true. Fates is like, it's funny because like I like Fates, but it's like kind of forgettable at the same time for me. I didn't play,
Yeah.
but I played a lot of Awakening, so there's also that. I played a lot of Awakening, I played a lot of Three Houses, and
I mix them up.
I did finish all the campaigns in Fates, but I only played it once, each campaign once.
Oh, I didn't finish. I'm ashamed to the.
But then I was
community.
that cool guy who had the cartridge that had all 3 games in one. Once again.
lucky bastard.
Prove my
Yeah.
Fire Emblem.
Yeah,
Badness.
the crazy guy here who, like, well, it's Fire Emblem game. I'll gotta try to get Fire everywhere because I'm gonna get a copy somehow.
You're the reason like it's all sold out when you try to check.
And I'm also the reason why you have a special edition copy of Engage Frank. Think about that. Think about that.
Just delete what I just said. Lastly, I just like the music when you're fighting and stuff like that. I think it really sets the mood.
You're solid.
I keep going back to Three Houses, but it was just a very different environment playing Three Houses.
It is.
And this one.
Yeah, because isn't it basically like Hogwarts? Basically, like
No,
it's-
not this one.
No, he's talking about Three Houses.
3 Houses, like pretty much you're dealing with teaching children, doing like things like that. It's
Yeah.
like, well, like this one seems like it's more classic. Here's your units. Move them as much as you want.
Oh yeah, and back to Three Houses. I feel like comparing these two, Three Houses kind of has an identity crisis with the characters, because like they're all dressed the same up until like way later in the game, and this one everybody's like they all have their own unique
Right,
look.
that's true. I kind of like do that, like they're like casual wear when they're not in fights.
Yeah, and you said that some characters are uninteresting.
Yeah.
I think that's true, but I still want to do their their dialogues,
Mm.
but I worry that like I'll be at the end of the game and I'm worrying about all these lesser dialogues and I miss on the ones I really want to. So I'm like, am I gonna have enough time to get through all of them? So I'm like, I'm just
I will tell you, Frank,
I'm worried.
the game really does entice you in a dumb, clunky way. It really entices you to do all the side quests, and that's one reason to do all the side quests, just to have more time to do the support stuff. Because the campaign, if you go through the campaign without doing the side quests, you could blow through that game pretty quickly. Actually,
Yeah. Oh, I'm taking my time. Well, we talked a lot about Fire Emblem. Anything else you're playing?
okay with this.
Or yeah, me too. But
I didn't know it was a Fire Emblem podcast. I thought that's what we're on.
we had the Hunter podcast on the Fire Emblem
didn't we
podcast.
change the name before we started?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It's on. It's up right now. Let's change it on the icon. If you look, it's no longer
Yeah.
Otaku
It's a
Otaku.
FE.
FE. That'll engage
Oh, there's also
heroes.
Tokyo Mirage sessions that no
Awakening.
one played either. Think about it now.
Tokyo Mirage sessions.
Yeah, because that's the
Well,
other
I mean,
Fire
it's not
Emblem.
really a Fire Emblem game.
Oh.
Yeah. So anything else you want to share about you're watching, playing?
No, that's all I've been. All
Oh,
my
that's
free
all you wanna
time.
say?
All my
every moment, every week,
every
week
moment
you-
I've had the little free time I have, I'm not doing overtime. It's playing Engage, and like I said, I'm almost there. I think I'm getting close to. I'm either 80 or 90 hours into it, and
And
like I
then-
said, I'm pretty much
and
done.
then folks is gonna do it again.
And eventually I'll do it again, but I'll probably wait till the other DLC comes out. But I don't know when that is and when I'll have the time for it. But
Mm.
it's a good game, and I definitely will see myself playing this one more time through. I don't know about 3 times, but definitely one more time through. See what happens.
I'm gonna just stop about Fire Emblem. I guess I'll go next. I'll just say quickly. I was watching the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Mm.
Oh,
Have you guys watched it?
Andy has. I have
I've
not.
seen
It
Yeah.
was so weird. Like I wanted my brother to watch it with me, and I'm like kind of glad he didn't watch it with me because
Oh,
it was just. I don't think it would. I mean, I liked it, but I think it kind of suffers from like it doesn't know what it wants to be.
Mhm.
Because at times it's funny, and at times it's like it was really serious, and it's like what's the meaning of life? I'm like, whoa, we're not here for that. Like, but even though I don't like that about it, it kind of fits it because it's in the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's like
Mm.
you're experiencing everything. So I'm like, okay, I'll let it slide just because of
What's
You're-
this mean?
You
me
get
to
the
do?
pass today,
Yeah,
but
but,
watch
it
it.
was a really weird. I think they kind of went a little too far with jokes. They were like, okay, it's not that funny. Like,
Mm.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with it's funny that you I feel like I'm also like okay with it. Like I feel like everyone's just like the best fucking movie ever and I'm like, I was like, oh, it's good.
I didn't like the dildo part.
It was like no, but
Everyone's favorite part of the movie.
no, but it's funny you should say that because I do think it thinks it's funnier than it is as well.
Yeah.
I feel like most people are like, haha, oh my gosh, this joke that keeps happening later, and it's just like I was like, I didn't think it was that funny, but like
and
other
the black
people
bagel
do.
was like, okay. I'm
Yeah, I was like,
Interesting movie so far.
yeah, like the that stuff. I was just kind of like,
I didn't get the ending that much. I don't know if it's because I was.
yeah, it was, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was,
You know the part that kind of confused me that tax lady.
mm-hmm.
I mean, did she wanna like? Because she was like fixing everybody, and then when it came to her, it's like, are you gonna like date her or leave your husband for her, or how are you gonna fix her?
Oh.
That was kind of weird. I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to watch it again.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack with what you're saying, but
Mm.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was just a pretty busy movie.
You know what? It would have been funny if it ended right when it like kind of seemed like it was gonna like, because they kind of had like a fake ending.
Mhm.
Oh,
That would have been cool. Like, just ends like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I know what you're saying,
it
but
would
they
leave
want to tie up everything at the end and like have it all like get because it gets sentimental.
And I
at the
didn't
end.
like their conclusion. Like it was kind of like, okay. I don't want to mention it because
Yeah.
Well,
I'd say you guys should still watch it because I feel like just
worth
because
the watch.
I know it's so
unique.
popular, and
It's
I'm
unique.
pretty sure I actually bought it during Black Friday. I just haven't a chance to see it yet.
I'd say just watch it. I guess you and I probably feel similar. I think it's overrated,
Oh, I see.
but it's good. Like it's not a bad movie.
Right,
I would
right.
watch it again. Just
It's
to,
the
like, pick
Bioshock-
things
Bioshock
apart.
Infinite of movies so far.
there you go.
You know,
Too much
that
hype.
I feel like that's actually pretty accurate.
What was
I don't
that?
know where the hell that came from, but I agree with it.
Well, they always win because Bioshock Infinite, like, 10 out of 10, 12 out of 12, best game of all time.
I'll help you out here, Frank. It's the Hunter.
Oh, man, you gonna bring that up here? Oh,
You know,
Speaking of things that are too high.
You guys lost me at Fire Emblem. I'll
you have-
never get this.
you have been uninvited to the wedding.
I didn't want to go anyway.
Yeah.
Can my guest still come?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I'll let him
That's
know.
cool. Yeah. So I would say it's worth the watch, not a must watch.
Yeah. I agree.
What I'm watching, I'm still watching Trigun.
Oh.
But slowly because it's like once a week. I am watching Psych. I'm
Still going to the psyche.
yeah.
You're always tipping back into that pool.
Yeah, it's because right now I'm kind of like in limbo, like kind of deciding what I should watch next.
Mm.
'Cause I finished a bunch of big
And
shows.
you finished Monk?
I finished that again. Yeah.
See, I knew it.
I kind of want to watch what's that? The Americans,
Oh, the Americans. I've heard of it.
but I kind of have like a little personal issue going on there. But playing, of course, Fire Emblem. I was like struggling to open it because I'm like I have all these pending games, but I'm so glad I skipped that and just went straight to it. It's so good. Also playing Horizon because technically I'm watching my brother play it. Took me forever to convince him to play it.
The new one?
No, the old one.
Oh, the first one.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I always wonder why it's called Zero Dawn. Can't we just call it Horizon? Because it makes it seem like there's a third game. Like,
That's funny.
I mean, I'm sure they would like there to be a third game.
yeah.
so we're playing that. When he struggles, I kind of like give him tips
Mhm.
and then he doesn't listen.
Oh,
What else am I playing? I kind of turned on my 3DS and
Awakening?
no,
Ah.
I think I might have lost them. I might have lost a lot of games.
Oh.
Yeah, I moved around a bunch of stuff and it's crazy. So yeah, just pretty much three houses, not three houses. Engage. Watching my brother play Horizon, and I'm not watching anything right now. So I will watch Tar if I can find it.
Peacock. It's weird.
I just don't want to download it. It's a big mess.
It's a long movie too.
Ugh.
Bring your
Yeah.
popcorn.
Any recommendations from Miles and Ray for us to watch?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm excited.
You're still
I'm excited to talk about some anime in the future because hopefully the new season will be over and I could watch the new stuff and then maybe watch another thing from the previous season. Though, somewhat spoiler preview. I'm not sure I understand the hype of the popular season of last year at the moment.
It's another Bioshock Infinite.
Oh, The Last of Us? Is
Hmm?
that what you said?
No.
Oh.
Without, I didn't specify the name.
Yeah, but
Give a little
the
tease.
problem-
And plus, I don't want to send all
it's
the
what
hate mails this week.
it's what
Next week.
happens when something gets overhyped too much.
Oh.
We'll find out.
I
We'll
have
see.
a question.
Yeah.
Kind of like ask for advice. Do you think I should buy the physical copy of Prime or? And same question with Theorhythm, Final Fantasy Theorhythm.
I forgot that they did that again.
Yeah.
The
So
final-
I'm kind
The
of personally I
final-
like that, but I wouldn't
the
buy because I'm like
final
done buying.
time.
Yeah.
let me
I bought that game so many times. I was so done.
let me tell you why I'm kind of doubting it. One is because I don't know when I'll go to the store,
Oh, there's always that.
and I want to play them now. And then,
Well, there's your answer.
Usually,
Pretty much. That would do it.
No.
That is not wrong.
but usually I prefer the physical copy.
Respect.
So
I mean, for Metroid, I would make that effort because it's a physical copy of Metroid, and I enjoy Metroid enough that I would want. But like, it's the Final Fantasy rhythm game. I'm kind of like, I bought this game 10 times physically. I don't need another physical copy.
Even but with all the DLC attached.
I'm good. Thank you very much.
When's that coming soon, Frank? Is that like next month?
what? Which one? Theorhythm?
Yeah, the rhythm.
I think they're out.
I think it's out.
Yeah.
I didn't
they-
even know about it.
Well, that's
I heard about it the other day.
news to me.
Right.
And-
I think they both came out the same day today.
Oh, there you go.
oh,
All
wait,
right.
twist?
Unless anybody has anything else to share.
I
I'm
think
good.
I'm done.
I
I'm
think
good.
that wraps it up.
Yeah, I think we could put a bow in this.
This has been a very special episode of Taco Otaku. And I don't know if they're gonna let me host again. This might be my
We'll
last one.
see, Frank. We will see. We'll see what the viewers, listeners have to say.
All right, see you next time if I'm still here.
This was the last episode. You're starring Frank.
All right.
Bye, Frank. Happy Wee Day.
Forever.
Goodbye, Frank.